post not defending P.J. Hall.
Hunter back out. Here's Hall, and he answers with a triple.
And as much as I love Quentin Post, more about what Brownell wants to do.
Post again. That glances off. That's right. Spent 4 years there.
Yes, he did.
Alongside Brad, and a slam on the other end by Hall on a massive strike by the Tigers.
However, when he was there
to face the number 3 seed, the University of Virginia, 9:30 tomorrow. Knocked down by P.J. Hall, coming in at 19 points a game.
And a great feed when you're talking about allowing those arms to fold over and pick up a foul.
Hall will turn and fire off the front iron. One and done there.
He's the killer. And right now, Claudell Harris trying to deliver a killing blow right there out of the timeout.
Hall on the blow. Block will get 2 to go. Just named first team all ACC.
With the notorious D.O.B. because, of course, his guy was the notorious B.I.G.
But funny it didn't come up. Off the iron by Hall. But I was so impressed. The whistle here. Excellent shot blocker. Gets about 2 a game. Getting it downstairs for Hall as he tried to go to work, and a whistle on the other side of the iron. Hunter racing up the floor, back for Hall. Let's see if he gets hot here in the second half. That's one way to do it. He can be an absolute handful down there. Take that.
Yeah, but P.J. Hall, no rebounds throughout this game. So only 2 Saturday and none today.
Post picked up foul number 3, by the way. Rebound popped around. Claudell Harris.
See the numbers? He has to get it.
And they'll head to the line for a 3-point play.
Yep. P.J. Hall showing the 24 now. Quick.
Madsen closed him out. Here's Hall. Hall to his right. Makes that shot a lot.
And Boston College right now choosing to guard P.J. Hall.
He's made some terrific passes, too.
Yes, he has. And he has been aggressive.
All downtown. That was in and out. So the lead up to 5th.
Craig Smith, Jared Dudley, all those guys playing for Al Skinner back in the day, who of course is a legend in the Boston area. Had a chance to see Coach Skinner in early.
Gerard with the rebound.
That's one hand should have dropped off. Devin McLaughlin running with him would have had an easy dunk.
All stepping into a triple, but no. And they're going to get Hunter over the back for the foul against the Hunter here. And this is Hall with Carr on it.
He's comfortable catching out that far, too.
P.J. off the glass. 8th best field goal shooter in the ACC. Averaging. Here's Reed. Or Hall, rather, as he works to Hunter. P.J. a 3. First one of the night. Side rim miss, and Hildreth and Wake now will look to run here. Their last 3 from the floor, including a pair of 3s from Salas. Here's Hall against Carr with 9 to shoot. Right-hand jump hook. Fell off the rim for Reed.
Games, if Wake Forest expects to win right here at home tonight and keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive.
Hall, a hard dribble against Reed to the basket. Shefflin inside, cleaning up and scoring. First basket for Ian Shefflin. Hall with a strong box out on Reed, allowed Godfrey to keep it alive in the Clemson possession. P.J. 3 from the front. And the tap follow, Godfrey, and the foul. Here's Joe. Wrap around, back for Clark. He'll slash. Got caught in the air. How about a kick for Hall? Bounds away. They scramble inside, and Hildreth wraps it up. And 5 in this first half. Averages only a point and a half in ACC play. Clemson looking for a bucket. Hall a 3. Back rim miss. Salas the rebound.
Shefflin, get on that short roll. At least let him catch it on the elbow. Great right there.
Hall missed it. Now 7 misses in a row for P.J. Hall. On the drive. Here's Hunter. Now Clark, who had a flurry in the first half. Now back to Hall up strong. Can't go. And last touch by Marsh. It'll stay with Clement in 9. Clemson a win. They would get one of the double buys. Here's Hall working on Keller with a left hand and one.
And you know, I'm surprised.
Hildreth defends Gerard. Here's Hall with Carr defending. P.J. up strong, right hand.
And I don't know how. Oh, he's letting them know. Okay. we came to see right here with the crowd getting into it.
Hall takes Carr to the basket. Layup. Good. And the foul. Hunter thought about it. 10 to shoot. Chase trying to deliver to Hall. Does. PJ with a right hand scores.
Just keep going to your bread and butter. Hunter, I know.
Here's Hunter. Back for PJ Hall. A three. Short. Salas the rebound with 6.5 to go.
But Wes, I think we knew this is how Wake had to come out and play.
Yep. Hall launches and hits. PJ Hall now is having a heck of a second.
Though, picking up that fourth foul.
Shefflin. Here's Hall. Working on Reed in traffic. Too strong. Shefflin can't finish from the other side. Hall and Reed.
Out of the way, but couldn't get it to fall. Here comes Gerard. Going past his old teammate. Now finding P.J. Hall.
Great job by Hall to shape up on the drive. Have his feet set parallel and dives every single time. Great hands. Catches. Keeps the ball high.
Here's Hall for three.
Nerves are gone, by the way, Reese.
Now Hunter has it in the corner. The flyby, and Hall's left alone. He'll shot fake, get into the lane, and score.
Composure. And
Clemson's made 4 of its last 5. Kick back from Gerard. There's Hall again for 3.
Have yourself a night, kid. Now you get an opportunity to really establish your defense and how you want to play the position-wise.
Counting down the shot clock for Hall, and why not? That's a dozen for PJ.
Talking about position defense, how about? I think right now it's a 9-3 advantage on the glass.
Chase Hunter's brother Dylan is into the game. PJ Hall has finally missed a shot. RJ Godfrey, number 10, is also checked.
Shorter bench. The zone has been good at keeping out of foul trouble. Their rotation's been pretty good.
Jack Clark, no. PJ Hall, yes.
Is he a 3-level scorer? He's a 2.5 level scorer. I give him a half from beyond the arc.
He's going to get better at that, too,
yes.
I think, as he goes along. Shooting right around 30%. PJ Hall is just going off. He's got 6 Tigers. PJ was 16. That's already one more than he had in the meeting in Syracuse. What a catch. Got it back. Hall will try it again, and he'll go to the free throw line. And PJ Hall goes to work on Brown. Big size advantage there. Nice job by Brown making him take the tough shot.
Just bodied him, walled up, and didn't bounce and give an inch.
Now Hunter gets to the elbow. Hall this time spins right past Brown and scores.
Yeah, I love the variety of how he approaches every post-up that he has, which means they're forcing him to play one-on-one. And the more one-on-one you get your opponents to play, the better off it is.
PJ Hall, what a half he has had. The lead is 10, and PJ is now up to...
Good possession coming out of halftime. It now comes down to this thing. Can they sustain stops? How many stops can you string together here in the second half?
Hall off the mark with his first 3. Get it from Hall.
And that dislodge just changes the timing of the entire possession.
Now they're deep in the shot clock. Hall's going to have to let it fly from really deep. Got enough iron to reset the clock. Shefflin fighting for it.
To take away the paint, Clemson's 3 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Now back to the paint with Hall. And Shefflin almost got that double-double, and PJ, they have been his strong suit, but got that short jumper to go. Hall looking for his first 2 of the second half, and he's got it.
And checks right back in and goes right back. Related, by the way. Whether you put baby oil on it or not, I'm probably not going in, just so you know.
Me either. Do you know Andrea Carter has a pet snake?
Yes.
I told her I did not care to meet it. Clemson trying to close the deal. Here's Hall. Took a little contact there, no call. PJ wanted the foul.
15 points off the bench. He has had himself a game.
This time they beat the pressure. Hall's by himself, and PJ, thank you very much.
If you're going to press, you beat the press.
Yeah, but I like it. I like it. That's the purple, yeah. often referred to as such. This is Hall lining up a three and knocking it down.
And John's going to have to learn.
Play game one of our CW Courtside Saturday, 87-76, a win at home for Virginia Tech against Wake. This is Hall again. Schieffelin fighting for it. Burton comes away with it against Wake on Tuesday. Schieffelin over the top, deflects it back out to Wiggins. Hall.
Every time in the half-court setting for the Tigers, when you force Burton to settle for three.
Gerard inside to Hall. Fouled, and he's going to the free throw line.
The decided advantage for the Tigers resides, you'll find in the conference. He is the main artery through which everything flows.
Schieffelin kicks it out to Hall straight away. He's got three.
I mean, John's just staying at home. He's going to have to get out, but have to really start respecting him from three tonight.
Chase Hunter's been a significant contributor this season. His teammate, B.J. Hall, to the rim, and he's got 11.
Cutter and finish at the rim. Heck of an adjustment from the sharpshooter.
His first basket of the game, he averages 10 per game. Hall misses, Zona the board.
Headlines. It's a tough task. Tigers are not being able to do so.
Burton with 15 points now. That leads all scorers so far. Hall is trying the three-point range, and he's missed his last.
Freshmen. Tom really becomes sophomores at this point.
This is Hall, the senior, over top of Zona.
There it is. I'm telling you, it cannot be stopped. Tried to find an angle, didn't have it played off two. Tried to use the rim to protect, just couldn't puncture.
This is what Brad Brownell identified. The response against the runs by the home team, that's how you win on the road in the AC. Schieffelin, Hall.
It's laughable how easy it is. It's the foundation of this Irish program.
So 11 points for Booth after that jumper. Other end, Hall. Series of moves against Zona. Can't convert, and a foul coming up against the Tigers. Wiggins. Hall. Quick decision, long rebound, Wiggins. Preserving the possession. Second three of the game for Zona. He had 10 made all season coming into the night. The energy of senior night. Hall floats to the rim and scores, and we're tied at 50.
How about Tate Davis's foot? From our angle, looked like Schieffelin, but Teddy B and the crew got that call right.
Schieffelin, by the way, has a double-double tonight. Trying to feed Hall. Schieffelin and Imes, and they wrestle their way. Hunter almost lost the handle in the corner. Shot clock down to 5 for Hall. Takes a quick glance. Over Zona. Hall got the roll.
What a talented young man.
Hall. Schieffelin deflected into the corner. Gerard.
70 seconds.
Gerard. And now Hall over Zona. Rolls off and Zona rips it down. 1 minute. Time running out on the Tigers. Hall feeds the three. Does not get it. Shrewsbury comes flying in and saves it to Davis.
5-0. Panthers early on. Jeff Capel was worried about the physicality that Clemson might bring, but right now early on, Pitt is up.
So play, run time off the shot clock. When they're open, they let it go.
PJ wants a three. Got it from the logo.
It is impossible to describe how big that up to contest the shot. That's what I'm talking about. Clemson is just a little bit off right at the moment.
As Beadle realizes, inside. Hall realizes, turnaround, Jay. Oh, gravity. Didn't pull it through. On there.
He hasn't been to the line that much in conference play. Only a 67% shooter.
Hall's hit 1-3. That one rims out.
That's a good look.
Good ball movement. Hall couldn't catch it cleanly. Now he'll go back to the basket game against Federico. Hook shot, skies it. It rolls off the rim. Schieffelin doing what he does best.
That's his first real three-point attempt.
Wanted a call, didn't get it. Panthers down early on in the second half. Shefflin to that right hand, lost the handle on it. Hall, little jumper. Splash. Beyond the arc three, P.J. Hall's got him in the game.
Clemson's been able to cut off that drive into the lane lately.
Low now with 9. Hall, that one rims out. They've had a couple of them go in and out. Hall against Federico with the left hand, banks it in.
Great job by Hall to get
P.J. Hall. Hall down low, turning, fading, and he missed it all.
He needs to go straight up with that or in defense.
Shot clock at 10 for the Tigers in the entry. Hall trying to back it on down, muscle his way, do a double and triple team, and it didn't stop Hall.
And we talked about the matchup with Watkins and Hall.
Shot clock is at 5 for Hall. Backing in on Gainey. P.J. Hall.
And P.J. Hall fired up.
We'll drive it. Drop it to Hall. What a pass.
And the play was set up by Chase Hunter. Threw it back over his shoulder.
Missed everything. Gerard the rebound. Tigers want to run. Hall from the logo. Wait a second now.
We know he's got it. No question.
Momentum going here for Clemson. Here's Hall again over Ndongo. Rings the bell.
Ndongo hasn't come out yet. He's going to have to.
Back at once. And we know the threes have been going in. But you can't try to make up for all of it on one possession.
P.J. Hall a fall away on Ndongo. That's 8 for Hall.
He's getting better.
Had it bothered by George. Now here's an entry for Hall.
You have to be fearful of double teaming the way Clemson shot him.
P.J. left it short, clawed the rebound.
Now, and that's the part that you're used to seeing him already have close to 10 in the first half.
P.J. out front.
Oh,
yep.
They're back. Coach, they're back.
That's 11 for Hall.
Good shot right here. He'll probably go inside, I think, but.
Hunter wrapped it around. There's Hall the catch and blocked Ndongo. Wow, what a play. What a play by Ndongo.
For them on the defensive end, I think that's all the help that they needed.
Hunter slashes for Wiggins. Here's Hall out front. It's long. It hit the top of the glass. It's still live. Wiggins the rebound. Team help. Murphy and Ndongo on P.J. Hall. See if Reeves commits to it. Here's Hall inside. How about the little soft fall away that's short? They'll crash the glass. It got deflected around.
Last year.
Diarra's coming off a double-double against Wake and trying to force the things early. And it's interesting that they got Diarra for Clemson. They'd rather see him shoot the jump shot, less likely to pick up a foul that way.
Hall again, launching the three, and the result is the same.
Points a game over this last stretch.
He's the graduate student from Raleigh, Mike, returning to the PAC program. Hall looking for a little heat check. He's made a couple of threes already, and the Clemson's now turned it over 5 times. 0 turnovers so far for NC State.
No, they're one of the best in the country. But after an early flurry, the 3 is dried up so far.
NC State at 50% shooting. The Tigers at 53% here in our first half. Hall, 3 ball.
Yeah, and it's getting.
Just 24 prior to tonight. This is Hall backing down.
And I think for Tom, I think for the next few minutes, defending a big who can shoot the 3.
By the way, Mike, Joe Girard has now made 373 pointers. Hall tries to take it inside. He got denied.
Pretty good defensive job of him.
All the way to the basket again for Girard. Hall got it. Second chance. Over the shoulder into the basket. For 3 on 3-point attempts.
He's 5 of 5 in the last 2 games.
Mo Diarra. Hall powers his way in. 7-0 run over the last minute and a half for NC State. Hall backing down in the paint. Basket and foul. P.J. Hall. Gerard.
That's what Clark's getting, that third rebounder up front.
P.J. Hall, eyes for the rim. He ran into Diarra. And then the attempted save goes over the head.
When he runs, he really gets up and down the floor quickly.
Nice long stretch without a whistle in the early going. P.J. Hall knocks down the three, and it's all tied up at 8.
Quick duck in. There's the high-low.
That's Clemson basketball right there, but Hall missed the jump hook. You see them run that play, and very effectively time and time again. Best 5 guys in the league. He's got a shot at first-team All-ACC.
No question. And he's leading with scoring, rebounding, offensive rebounding, steals.
Hall, no. Hall will be first-team All-ACC. R.J. Davis will. I think.
Good fake.
Hall into the paint, scoops it up and in, and P.J. Hall starting to assert himself here in the second half.
Well, that's where he used catch-and-shoot opportunities for Miami so much more efficient.
Keyshawn George, a freshman from Switzerland, and a guy who multiple NBA scouts come out to see every time.
So he may be fighting through some kind of bug.
Yeah, we were told he is a little bit under the weather. He did practice this morning, but maybe not feeling quite like himself. Shefflin doing what Shefflin does. The offense
against Auburn, because Auburn, along with Houston, leads the nation in playing hard.
Hall working on Omier, and Omier wins the battle. You just can't move him much.
King.
Shefflin, bigger than Cleveland, draws a double team and feeds his buddy Hall. And now they're all smiling for the Tigers.
I'm not sure why North Shadow.
Hunter with the ball. Gerard floats it over to Hall, who will take a three and hit it. Acknowledges the student section on his way back down the court.
For them to run their offense.
Lobbed in, P.J. Hall. He can make it look too easy at times.
And I agree with them. The message reached.
Inside to P.J. Hall. Hunter. Right back to Hall. The give and go. And P.J. Hall rocks the rim.
Beautiful find by. Right now, Clemson's forcing contested jumpers. And that was not the case to start this game off. Again, Copeland, one of the better passers in the ACC. That's a beautiful lob pass to Malik Brown.
And Hall answers on the other end in perfect position to put that home.
And that, where he was 8 of 10 from the three-point line. Big-time shooter.
P.J. Hall continues to show why he's one of the best in the ACC.
Malik Brown with
a potentially big swing at the end of this first half. Hall goes right into Hema. P.J. Hall, he has feasted in this first half.
Versus Copeland. And let's see if they give P.J. Hall a touch.
Hall right to the rim. One-handed jam. The All-American. And that'll quiet.
Starling just unable to finish.
Hall lines up a three. Missed it. Tapped out, but Brown there for Syracuse. To Hall. Spinning his way free and fires Clemson back in front.
It's simple.
The rebound off the Davis miss. Now you see, we talked about the Duke hangover. Such an emotional matchup, but the record has been quite good. And already, Clemson's hit a couple of threes, which is what
in the country. Clemson doing a great job of communicating this far.
Already has 1 3, and now he's got another. P.J. Hall, who only had 10 points, and down the ball screen. Hall's already hit a couple of three-pointers, got Baycott to go up, and P.J. left it on the rim, saves it, so they'll get the fresh 20.
Great hands by P.J. Hall to grab that offensive board.
Hall's already hit 2 and was going for 3. There's an offensive rebound from Shefflin.
Great guard pressure by R.J. Davis there.
Hall taking Baycott inside, uses the left hand, and now P.J. Hall will have a chance for a three-point play.
You talk P.J. Hall complaining to the ref, if you don't meet him early, he gets too deep on the block.
Hall, bucket, his third triple of the night, and he's got a dozen.
That's the matchup where they switch. You got that matchup down low.
P.J. Hall. R.J. Davis had no chance. 14 for the Tiger big man in the... Dylan Hunter. P.J. Hall rises out. That's a tough shot. He tries to follow his own. Cadeau comes out.
And the way you attack the glass. You can prioritize throwing the ball down low just because you're missing shots. Get offensive rebound.
That is just a shame that shot didn't go in because that was in the pass.
First half. 9 minutes, minus 16 with 0 assists.
P.J. Hall right over the top of Harrison Ingram, and it rolled out on him. Hall at 14 in the first half. He goes right to work, uses the hook shot. And for the second time here in the second half, P.J. can't. P.J. Hall has played well and shot it well from outside. He's got 17 points to win for just the second time ever in Chapel Hill. Hall's been hot from three. Not this time. Shefflin, Baycott fighting for it. Ingram pulls it away. Here for 15th on the all-time scoring list. P.J. Hall fires for three. Left Jalen Withers is checked in with Harrison Ingram being a test, and they have more than delivered. Shot clock at 5. Here's Chase Hunter. Rolls on. Hall with the putback.
You heard the fan correctly behind me.
Chapel Hill. Hall fumbled it. Didn't get a real clean look at it. Elliot Cadeau on the run. 1-on-2. Cadeau from behind the arc tonight. Hunter shakes free, now slips it to Hall. Hall will shoot the short jumper. It rattles out. Here's Gerard. He's made a ton of big baskets tonight. Backing down Cadeau. Now Hall for three. P.J. left that one well short. Cadeau on the push. R.J. Davis working on Chase.
The biggest thing they have to do is believe they can win a close game and execute down the stretch.
Hall, offensive rebound, and P.J. Hall a chance for a three-point play. Back, shot clock still at 12. Clemson will reset. Chase Hunter to Hall. Hall lets it fly. Front rim no good, and Cadeau has it. Tar Heels on the run.
After North Carolina's loss Tuesday at Georgia Tech. Here's Hall, who could step out and shoot it well. In and out, 2 missed threes early for Clemson, which has been the worst three-point shooting team after only a couple of minutes. He may need a big night from Minor tonight, trying to match up with his physicality of Hall. Gets blocked by Minor, throws it off the underside of the backboard. The last two, began his career at Eastern Washington with his brother Tanner, went to Oklahoma. Nice. Inside, Hall gets position on Minor and has his first two.
That's the angle that Clemson important for all 30 seconds of the possession if you're Virginia. Clemson constantly trying to duck you in.
Hall will shoot it. Hall will miss it. Look at Godfrey, though, got position, found Hall, and then Hall...
Don't play the game in layup lines. And he would sub a lot early in the game, too, because, guys, I mean, there's just so much that goes into it and in and around it.
Hall got smacked by Doug.
It's Louisville, and they got pounded on the glass because they weren't comfortable rebounding out of it.
Hall for three. Now 0 for 3 out there.
Got you, P.J. Hall.
Amazing to think this is only his 7th start. He'll guard Hall right now. He'll force Hall into another tough shot. He's 1 for 7. That 1,000th career point. Hunter again. This time he feeds it to Hall, who gets his rebound back, and he's mauled by Dunn. Second 4 and 5 ACC record. Back to Hall, who just hit a couple of free throws, and he scores it. Sometimes seeing it go through at the free throw line. For nearly 26 minutes, Clemson has led for 92 seconds. Gerard passes up a 3. Hall misses a 3. And he's 0 for 4, but wow, Harris just blows the Their only losses, last-minute losses at Iowa State and TCU. Hall working on Minor, and there's Shefflin again in the middle of 3 Virginia defense. Shefflin. Why not go back to P.J. Hall? He misses his time, and Dunn couldn't corral it. And Shefflin this end. Gerard had space for a moment. Wiggins will feed Shefflin. Buchanan doubles, and it's Hall against McNeely. Clemson will take that.
A really good cut down the middle of the lane. Good.
Miner with 9 points all in the second half. He was a 2-point-per-game scorer before this string of starts. Hall, finally! He breaks the three-point seal and
sees the momentum of this game.
First lead since 8-7. Trying to grow it. Hall in and out.
That's the match
The last 5 minutes. They'll get it to Hall against Miner, who has 4 fouls. Hall with a body. Hall stepping in. Hall left it short. Rebound Ryan Dunn, and he is fouled.
John and Wes and Dan.
Mike Randolph, thanks very much. We welcome those of you that have watched Boston.
The inside left.
Nope. 3 minutes gone this first half. Here's Gerard. Double team follows him. Hall sets for 3. And the Tigers have come up dry from behind the line here early. Gerard's missed a... Chase Hunter moves Clemson into the forecourt against James. Here's Hall for 3. Front rim miss. Tigers are dry from behind the line early.
P.J. Hall shooting only
27-3 in Midtown. The beat goes on in this league, Bonner. Here's Hall in close score. First field goal for P.J. Hall now with 4. Tigers back in. They average about 8.5 a ball game. P.J. Hall with Huntley Hatfield defending. Turns over the left shoulder, left it on the front rim, knocked around. The Cards pull it away.
And that's a good job. And it's a tie game.
Yep. Dylan Hunter back for Hall. Triple out front. Too strong. Shefflin out front. Inside for PJ against James. Strong with the right hand, and nothing there. Brad Brownell puts his hands behind his head.
P.J. Hall now 1 for 7.
Here's Shefflin. Another pass. Hall a catch. Dunks it home. Stuffed home. Hall's got 6.
Another.
Couldn't get it to him. 10 to shoot. Beetle. Here's Shefflin. Entry for Hall. Oh, my heavens.
Hall did a great job getting position and catching that ball.
Hunter out front. Here's Hall teeing up a 3. Back rim miss again.
He's now 0 for 4 from out there.
Yep.
And flipped off the forehead of Okorafor right to Gerard.
Here's Joe. Hunter out front. P.J. Hall, 3 more. Nope, that bounds away. Shefflin tried to keep it alive. Huntley Hatfield collects. Taking Williams into a Hall screen. Another entry pass. Here's P.J. Up strong. Couldn't finish. Shefflin grabs the rebound. Skips it out for Gerard from the Tiger paw. It spins out. Okorafor had it. He lost it to Hall. P.J. will fire for 3. Nope. Boy, the fight is on from behind the line for P.J. Hall tonight. Skip pass. Out front, here's Wiggins. Inside Hall to work. Okorafor defending. P.J. scores with the right hand.
Very little Okorafor can do.
Yep.
Now they got to go through with it.
True. Gerard, little give and go with Hall. Now he'll wrap it around to P.J. Turns on Huntley Hatfield. It rattles out.
Boy, he's missed a couple of those tonight. Shots that he normally...
Here's Gerard. In for Hall. He'll turn and score. And that puts P.J. Hall 15th all-time in Clemson history. Here's Hall working against Caleb Glenn, and one coming. Caleb Glenn, to quote the old Billy Lee. Wiggins, Shefflin, entry for Hall. Huntley Hatfield playing with just the 2 fouls. Look at P.J. Hall go to work. 11.5, 21 in the game for Hall. He's got his 10th ball. Tigers by 6. Entry for Hall, working on Huntley. Hatfield scores.
That's where you go when you need a basket, and they needed one desperate.
Calling for it with 12 to shoot.
Now this is where he can get in trouble if he tries to drive to the basket.
There he goes, right hand turn, got it. He got in trouble and went right to the rim.
Well, that was really under control, Wes. You put
12 to shoot. What does Hubert Davis want to do here? Well, you got to get the ball in bounds first.
Good start.
And then I'm looking for...
Right hand wasn't on the ball simultaneously here.
It may be a tough one to overturn, given how clout. He makes them more physical, and of course a bigger team when Stewart, the McDonald's All-American, gets on the court.
We're back outside for Hall. He just hit one triple. He misses this one. Comes in at 2 set. They can drill those threes. So can this man. Girard gave up the dribble. P.J. Hall with a fall away. And Filipowski with a rebound. He's grabbing 9 again. Down to 3. Hall with the left. Mitchell will start the break here for Duke.
As they talked about the scouting report and how they wanted to guard Girard and give the Blue Devils credit for following the scouting report.
Again denied. Loose ball comes to Filipowski. Great save. It's 20 consecutive losses to Duke at Cameron Indoor. But Duke has suffered 2 defeats here this year. Here's Hall, and that one didn't touch thing, and it'll go the other way. So let's bring in Byron. He's about 20 a game in the ACC when they win, 11 a game when they lose in conference play. Here's Hall, way short. His tough day continues. It was tapped out by 5. Girard buried a 3 moments ago. Bouncing here for Hall. Lots of contact. Short. Loose into the corner. Out it goes. And it'll stay on this end. Girard giving it up for Godfrey. Godfrey on Filipowski. It rolls off the 10. Back right for Hall, and he will lay it in and take the hit.
But look at the exuberance.
Swings it back for Godfrey. Here's Hall way downtown. Yes! He drills the 3.
5 minutes of game action.
And Shire can't wait. He's got Filipowski and Roach ready to check in at the scorer's table. Hall over the shoulder, in and out. Chase Hunter to the lane. Came free to Hall, and he knows exactly what to do with it. Right back to the 10.
But no fading away from the basket.
Well, P.J. Hall, of course, an ACC Player of the Year candidate as you check out the starters for the Tigers. Joe Girard and Chase Hunter, part of that great backcourt. Worley had the block on Hall, and Chauncey would expect to see it from Clemson.
Because there's no secret. Florida State struggles from behind the three-point line. And
Hall with a slam.
High percentage shot there to get yourself going. But no, the basket, get to the mid-range shots and scoring just like that.
And the Noles, meanwhile, only 33% from 3 this season. Hall plus a foul and a chance at 3 for P.J. Hall.
You're accustomed as a guard, and you don't always have to box out.
Hall rises. Too strong. Jackson soars for a rebound and draws it. There's Wiggins. Hall comes up to get it. He's been so good with his shot fake from the top of the key this year. But Bol Bowen with the block. High-low one there for Hall. Faces up on Gainey. Hall with a hook. And Hall runs it down. And Hall comes up to get it. And a face-up on Deontay Green. And P.J. Hall going to work for 2. At 5 points and 3 rebounds in the first. Girard shoveled for Hall, who lays it in. Time for Clemson. Hunter to key it in. Finds Girard. Driving dish, Hall. Too strong, and Deontay Green rips down the rebound. And now here at Florida State.
Look at the high-low action again with P.J. Hall. It's just going to be too easy there.
With Spears on him, Hall muscles it over him. And is saying, keep feeding me.
Yeah, just keep feeding him. Run the middle.
Hall sets a screen. Worley didn't switch it. So it's Corin on Hall. And no foul called.
Yeah, they mixed it there. They missed it.
There's Girard still with it with the shot clock down to 10. Now Hall. Spins out a 3. Spear. Hall's calling for it. Face up on Baba Miller. Hall spinning. Clark nearly followed.
Corner to double. That's a lot of work for 6'10" on the baseline.
Hall, and he's fouled. No call. Shefflin almost another offense.
Tech's going to switch to the zone right here off the timeout. They had been playing man-to-man.
All the Yellow Jackets made shots tonight have come from three as P.J. Hall answers immediately.
Just a nice-looking jump shot. You got to put those down.
Splits the double, everything but the finish, but Hall there to clean up the spill.
Georgia
pass finds Clark off to Shefflin into two, and it doesn't drop, but Hall's there to poke it home. What a play by P.J. Hall. Dumped inside, Hall. Great defense, clawed all over it for Georgia Tech.
Speed played out in his sprint to the corner to get his feet organized after the break on the three-point line.
Hall trying to answer, and he does.
I mean, who do you get the ball to when you need a bucket? I mean, it's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but that was a heck of a job on post defense by Dillon.
Hall soaring and scoring. Clemson back in front.
To get to the places he wants to go with the ball.
Inside to Hall, stays with it, doesn't drop. Another offensive rebound for Ian Sheff. Hall calling for it, gets it, muscles it home. He has 17 points to go along with 12 rebounds tonight.
That's situational.
Give and go. Shot clock down to 5. Hall, eyes on the timer, turnaround, missed it.
Good weak side board by Dongo. Line that allowed him to come off that and knock it down.
Georgia Tech's made 6 of their last 8, the last 2 to Sturdivant, and that's a goaltend. Dongo. His 5th offensive board of the night, 10 rebounds total. Dumps it down to Hall, fighting through, gets it to go. P.J. Hall up to 23. Here's Hall, righty hook, beautiful. P.J. Hall, 26. Now a 7-point lead. Hall, count the bucket. P.J.
The high-low game has definitely worked.
Hall's got 28 points tonight. They go right to him, missed it, gets his own miss. And Gerard back to Dylan Hunter, into P.J. Hall, spins his way in, rolls, doesn't drop, and a foul on the offensive rebound. Inside to Hall, and that's a career-high 30 for P.J. Hall. Godfrey spinning his way free, missed it. Hall, he can't clean up the spill. Ball's loose. Miles Kelly has it. Shefflin heaves it, looking for Hall, rips it away. PJ for the win. And we are headed to double overtime. Here's P.J. Hall. Missed it. And Georgia Tech gets the rebound.
There it goes.
Well, Gerard let it walk up. Into Hall. Rejected, goes back up with it, jump ball. Possession arrow with Georgia Tech.
Oh, the pace of this right here, they're going for 3.
Hall for the tie, missed it. But a rebound. Clemson just 3 of 20 from 3. They need one here to extend the game. Hall for the tie, missed it. Georgia Tech stuns Clemson.
2 starters, Prince, Aligbe, and Quentin Post, both out in this game. So you think that we'll see a lot of this as Hall goes inside and misses his first shot.
You can just tell they want to go points in the paint, have to make shots, and guys like Harris can make those. He's a dynamic scorer.
And this Clemson starting lineup is very big as Hall gets up the first two, but nothing down yet.
Back-to-back possessions, both execution-based teams. They rely on half-court offense and precision of their cutting, screening.
Well, there you go, pounding it in the post. P.J. Hall with the hook.
Yeah, I just think that's going to be
from Dylan Hunter, who picked up that first foul on that last play. You said it, Chase Hunter rushing back to the scorer's table. After that sequence, and Hall is inside for two.
Coach Burnett.
So Boston College went to that first timeout leading. And Clemson led by their defense and P.J. Hall. Out by
the trio, and they need Chase to be really good for them.
Well, he was challenged both ends.
Really challenged, absolutely. He was challenged by Coach, absolutely. And he's responded this afternoon to this point.
Hall brought it down, kept it. Beadle in the game goes right back to him. And Hall falling away, cash money.
None. I got to keep it within 5 to 7 going into halftime.
Hall had position and short on the hook.
Can't miss those if you're trying to hang around. That and the free, that shot plus the earlier free throw just are backbreakers.
Madsen gets the stop of the rebound.
Good box out by Madsen. Got Clemson sucked in, and Harris made a big three. He is a dynamic scorer, Harris.
Well, one of the best in the ACC. From out there is P.J. Hall in tight again. 12th one. He's been all over the glass.
Again, that's the size, not having posts there, and just you know, Boston College plays through post so much during the offensive end, not having them. They had to reinvent themselves.
Challenging you, but you can give that back to your guys and spread it around.
They wanted to be a little more vocal to kind of get after their guys a little more, and they need them to do that. They got a great studio in there, led by Kelsey Riggs, who's outstanding and awesome. She's as good as you get.
Everywhere this week, hosting a little studio coverage from Houston. College football.
That 8-minute mark. They got to get a stop here at Boston College if they want to give themselves a chance just to hang.
Working on 20 points. P.J. Hall with the offhand.
And how about the left-hand baseline hook, the spin, a little bit defensively. Never mind, I was wrong on that. Now they switched back to man-to-man.
Hall on the attack, back to the left one more time.
It looked like from my vantage point they may put it away, and these next couple possessions are going right back to PJ at the elbow.
Number 24 with 24 points, and he still has 24. But ball's kept alive into the hands of
there. You're kind of playing with house money when you're in the Sweet 16 for all 16 teams.
Mm-hmm. Here's Hall going to work again.
Now I want to say this. As they continue to move in the AC,
Kelsey Riggs. You already
I pumped up Kelsey already.
How much her shine?
Yeah,
With P.J. Hall with the bully ball slam.
Excellent.
Team, the fourth best offense in the ACC. Very good shooting team. Third best field goal percentage. Third best team from three. As P.J. Hall misses a three, the first missed shot of the game for the Tigers. There's Chauncey Wiggins, 6'11" sophomore. Gets it into Hall, who is yet to score. That remains the case, but Shefflin grabs it. Blocked by Kidd from behind. A rare
play in the last game against Florida State.
Hall for three. And there, the first bucket of the game for P.J. Hall, nearly half home. Building where they have not lost this season, but their best win, probably Vermont. This is a big step up at competition. As Hall's missed three is back tapped. And Collect was already 8 inches shorter than his defender, Wiggins. Getting manhandled as well, but it ended up as a Virginia Tech turnover. Hall steps out, strokes his second three, and Clemson after behind the back. Hunter, back from Hunter. A little bit of a bobble, and Clemson will settle with Shefflin. Hall the trailer. Missed a three. Robbie Barron's got the rebound. Let's turn a different shade. Joe Girard, a quiet first half. Only 6 points, made 1 field goal inside to Hall. Shefflin grabs the short shot. And Shefflin with 9 in that first half to lead Clemson. Girard, guarded by Collins, leans in, couldn't get the contact or the basket. It's cleaned up by Hall, and Clemson is back within 5.
Now, PJ only played.
Hall quiets the Castle, his third three. Running around, gets rid of it to Hunter. Not a lot of easy baskets in transition for Clemson tonight. Hall, once again, a trailing three, and Padula snatches away the rebound. Back on the floor, Gerard, Hall, of the Hunter brothers. Gerard closed down again. Hall inside, spinning away from Poteet. Shefflin on the offensive glass, lobs it over Poteet.
And Jay, they know the double's coming. Let him play through the double team. He's capable.
Trying to get it to him. There it is. Hall will shoot it quickly this time, well off the mark, and no offensive rebounder in the area. Last 8 for the Hokies, who have not trailed since 6-5 and lead by 10. Clemson needs a heck of a late surge. Hall's miss is rebounded by who else but Shefflin.
Dylan Hunter for Hall. He's been pretty quiet so far, and he misfires on a three.
Yeah, PJ got the first look of the game, got to the free throw from the field, and he looked passive on that possession with a smaller defender guarding him.
Hall with the rebound, dribble down, and hooks it in.
Nothing passive about that. Big time rebound for PJ Hall, who looks like maybe.
Really fun start to a really good one in the ACC, OB.
Has been entertaining so far, Kevin, that's for sure. 28-28, Hall with a miss underneath. Ryan, by the way, with 10 now for the Tar Heels. Hall gets the entry, powers into.
But you see how PJ Hall is able to take advantage of the other.
Really enjoying his time here at Clemson. Hall with a difficult shot over Baycott. Shefflin another rebound. Here's another long one. That won't fall.
Look at Ian Shefflin. Come on, man.
My goodness.
Come on, man.
Hall on Baycott. This should be interesting. Spinning to his right, but no.
And Armando Baycott's done a great job defensively on PJ Hall as well. That's one. The ball just bounced over Baycott's hands for that offensive rebound.
Chase Hunter back for Hall. 3 on the way. Makes 40%.
It's Dylan Hunter in comparison to Chase, but still doing the job defensively.
PJ, too strong.
For PJ Hall has to be able to drop baseline and help.
Gerard slamming on the brakes. Hall off the fake, fires. Rebound free in the corner. It'll be North Carolina.
Can't make that shot, but on that possession, you probably want to get the ball in the hands of Baycott, who just got his first basket of the second half.
Hall sticking right with it on the second effort, though.
PJ Hall has 16 points, is 5th in program history.
Hall, yes, it hung on the iron tantalizingly before dropping in.
The 41 streak you mentioned, he actually tied with current assistant coach Jeff Lebo.
Hall with the left hand, no. And another whistle with 1:26 to go.
And spray it to open shooters.
These are two good offensive teams, each of them averaging in excess of 82 points per game. And how about that move by PJ Hall?
Well, when you hug up on
short, Hall down with the board. Chase Hunter, senior point guard, his younger brother Dylan will back him up. Wow. And there's the deep range, and I do mean deep, for one of the most
glass every time, and he carves out space. Both he and Ian Shefflin are among the better offensive rebounders in the country.
Hall misses this three. Joseph the rebound. Omier running the well defended by Omier.
Good duck in by PJ Hall.
And he'll convert his second dunk of the night already in a Hall who's averaging over 20 points. Hall, that's a very physical matchup. Tough turnaround, comes up empty. Here is second. Armando Baycott of Carolina is first.
Well, Shefflin had 17 rebounds against Pittsburgh. Another logo 3 for PJ Hall.
And there's the putback for Shefflin doing
championship banner, which they haven't done since 1990. Good rebound by Shefflin.
Yeah, he was not shy at all in answering that question. You know, how good does it feel to play for a team like this? And now the shot clock down to 5. Gerard the kick. Hall gets it off. Can't hit it. And the rebound down to Miami.
Boy, a good defensive position. That ball when it was loose. and getting it up on the board quickly.
Gambled there, almost came up with it, and pays the price as Hall flushes it.
And Matthew Cleveland intelligently getting out of the...
Hall gets into the paint, and it'll go. Little jump hook for the answer to the one that he saw from Omier the other end. Girard is open, but basically he's in range anywhere over half court. Hall misses the three, and it's out of bounds. Stay
up on the other end. And right now, Clemson really needs to get something positive going.
And a tough one for P.J. Hall to quiet the crowd.
And I think that's the other end. You know, some of Clemson's offensive difficulties in the second half have affected their defense, and this is where they need to go.
P.J. Hall with good deep position to get him back within 4.
Back in the 2018-19 campaign, it was a tight game. Tigers eventually won by 8. Hall on the feed from Girard, and there's an example of the Tigers sharing the basketball for the first points of the contest. Hit the runner. Here come the Tigers. Tiger team that, of course, with Hall and Girard, the scores as expected, and PJ's first attempt from outside won't go down. Wiggins, an emerging sophomore among those in the Tigers starting 5. Second time doesn't go, but the rebound by Shefflin. Wiggins seconds. Smith was on the wing, lost the handle, rekindled, and the final 2 of his 18 points, the winner in a 66-65 triumph. Hall knocking down the three-point try.
So far, 6 teams in the top 50. The league is off to a great start. So what that means is when the league plays each other in January, February, March, it helps the league and it doesn't hurt it.
High. Hunter to Hall. Turnaround. P.J. Hall on his way to another one of those 20-point games. He's got... Hunter looked low for Hall. Baseline jumper not going to go for PJ, and it comes down to Giles. So a chance.
Second half against Queens. I know the coaching staff talked about that extensively. They want to see the Tigers do a better job guarding here in the second half.
You don't see the hook shot that much anymore in college hoops with Girard. Hall in transition. Around Turner, goes under the defender, Pierce, and one.
And I think the thing that you're going to...
Memory, Tigers had a couple of guards come into the program from Robert Morris and Vanderbilt, respectively. Marquise Reed, Sheldon Mitchell. Another block for Pierce, so it's 4 fouls, but Godfrey inside to finish it up.
RJ Green and got it into a switch. Really impressive. I know the Highlanders scored there, but that's great communication on the defensive end by the Tigers.
Turner now has 9. Hall unable to get it to go. Look at Beadle skying with red jerseys.
And Queens University.
Both teams shoot the 3 ball. Clemson, one of the best in the ACC and in the country. P.J. Hall, a dominant force, is back to his old whip.
To Milwaukee, one of the contenders in the Horizon League. This Queens University out of Charlotte, North Carolina, this is really going to be a great basketball program for the A-Sun. And see P.J. Hall knock down the mid-range jumper. What a touch.
A team that needs its depth to really step up here down the stretch as they get into ACC play.
Yeah, it's Alec Henneman, an elite shooter, an Indiana guy, as P.J. Hall knocks one down again. He's so good in that 15.
Oh, the depth of the ACC will be put to test here this season. They've been off to a better start. How about Hall? In the transition. Oh, what a jam. P.J. Hall, defense to offense. He's got to be careful. Had one of the biggest shots in Queens history earlier this season against Gardner-Webb. Game-winning 3-point jumper. How about that sweet stroke from Hall?
P.J. Hall rebound. Good timeout by Grant Leonard, and they've responded.
Felt like they needed 15 threes to be able to compete in this one. First miss for Hall.
And you're surprised when he misses.
You're not a 6 a.m. guy?
Not a 6 a.m. guy. Although when I had young kids, Christmas morning, yeah, I was up for sure.
How about the big men on the connection there? Shefflin to Hall.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple.
It's just the second turnover of the game by either team.
Hall's done everything in this game. I mean, literally everything, including that.
Oh, he's feeling it.
The game's easy.
P.J. Hall is Tigers leading by 11. How about the confidence from Hall? Patience, jumper, rattles out.
Where Shefflin is
into the passing lane. Hunter deflected it. Girard scooped it. Hall, 3. Oh, baby. He knows it. He's feeling good, folks. Peach. And Brad Brownell told us he's just getting used to playing more minutes.
Yeah,
being relied upon for more usage.
Yeah, he just needs to be a regular guy. And P.J. Hall, again, just fights through contact.
89-56. The Tigers have been flexing their muscles. One of the best teams in the country with one of the best players in the country, P.J. Hall.
And if you're not there, watch it on TV.
Hall, confident. He's got 27.
Lefty, righty. Doesn't matter.
9.7. But Clemson, one of the best in the country shooting the 3 at 39.3%. Fall away, count the bucket and the foul. P.J. Hall with the fall away jumper.
They'll push the tempo if they can.
For Memphis to win this game, they're going to have to knock down some threes. They are 1 for 5 so far. Great pass from Shefflin to his teammate P.J. Hall. And P.J. Hall has his second bucket, now has...
Well, again, you're seeing two very experienced teams. Each has had runs in this game. Nobody's panicked. Nobody's gotten uptight. Going, he's athletic enough. He can get it to the rim. Put some pressure on.
Walton 30.3% from beyond the arc. Hall triple teamed. He goes to the left hand and lays it in.
That's devastating. That is a big time. Really have to do a good job communicating because of all the movement screens that Clemson employs in their offense.
Hall, Jones came over and got his deflection on great help defense by David Jones.
They can get to the basket. They did early on. They had some good screen action, had some guys rub off, and this is where Hall's dangerous. You just can't let him set up shop down there. He's so good and so strong at setting up. If you play behind him, he knows how to involve when you need some points. Now, defense communication is going to be critical. Got to be careful with P.J. Hall going at the boards. Good defense. 3 guys helped out, collapsed. Malcolm Dandridge back in the game for Memphis. The ball to whoever's open. Nice to see. That's not always the case.
Chase Hunter, good bounce pass to Hall. Defended and deflected there as Jourdain got his hand on it.
That time he picks up the foul.
Great chance to be playing in the National Basketball Association because he does it on both ends. And right there, real strong and a great entry pass to get it down low to P.J. Hall.
Exactly what I'm talking about. If you're Clemson this season, the Tigers a 35% three-point shooting team collectively. Not so in the first half. There's Hall again. That time he misses. Just out of control. Felt he was fouled. He's upset about it. He's just got a 5-on-4 advantage.
Without the ball, just going baseline to baseline.
His athleticism will get him some shots.
Hall misses the jump hook. I should say sideline to sideline the way he's moving. And here comes Memphis as they 1 for 4. 3 points.
Well, you got Malcolm Dandridge guarding Girard. You don't want to see him.
They did not get that shot off in time. I don't think they did.
Good job by Memphis attacking the...
Winterly matches Jourdain point for point. They each have 11. Lead is 3 for Memphis.
Yeah, there's a great job.
And that's high-low. They know each other so well.
That time Dandridge tries to front. They go right over.
Again, Dandridge gambles there. Hall should have an easy bucket. He does. He slams it in the face of Jourdain. Draws the foul, and then he motions to the crowd here. 1 point Clemson lead. 12:38 to play. Hall, spin move. Oh, he's so talented.
Up Hall now. You might want to see him put something up from the outside, not allow him to get in close. Don't give him an uncontested look. But that takes him out of rebounding position, and that's a lower percentage shot. That was a confident, aggressive move.
Walton is 0 for 5 from 3, but he's 3 for 5 from inside the paint, and that's a strong move by P.J. Hall. He got bumped a little bit. It didn't.
It's been everything advertised. Sometimes games don't quite live up to what your expectations. That has not been the case today. See, that's good. That's 2 straight. Hall's missed. I think you got to make him shoot it from outside. He's got the range. Here comes Girard. Good defense.
It goes to Hall.
No foul. He's
Hall defended by Jourdain. Jacks up the 3. Back iron, no. It'll be Memphis basketball with 4.4 seconds.
The sophomore out of Columbia, South Carolina. It's a 3 for P.J. Hall. That won't go.
Nice job by Xavier Cork of stopping that ball.
Hunter for Girard. Bowl it in for P.J. Hall. And Hall going to work for the first time today.
He just ripped that right through Uday. Uday not moving his feet.
Oh, length there. Hall was 5, gotta go. P.J. Hall into the lane. Oh man, he rode Cork down the lane.
The way he got two dribble Clemson, okay with him shooting that. Shot it much better his first 3 years, but he has struggled here this season.
Hall wanted that 3, and he caught a lot of the iron. Godfrey got smacked and fell.
A laser beam off his hand. I don't think that ever got above the rim.
Didn't look like it. P.J. Hall, quick trigger again.
Release. You have got to be right there. Mustafa is in. That switch again. Can they take advantage with Jameer Nelson Jr. in the post?
Yes, they can.
Yeah, beautiful play. Great flash by Shefflin to the high post, and then what a drop-off.
Joe Girard has been very quiet since an early 7.
Got off to that great start, but hasn't seen much. Good pick and pop. He'll take that shot every time down if you're Clemson. P.J. Hall, he can stroke it.
Into the post, P.J. Hall off the spin, and he is tough when he does that.
Big time move. Takes you middle, roll. Shefflin is just a grown man.
Hall straight away. Yep. Largest lead for Clemson at 7 and a Ball working hard.
They just continue to stack their resume. Their non-conference certainly amplified from what happened last year going to the NIT, but they have handled business. And they
touch for P.J. Hall, going to work on Clark. He's short, and Clark the rebound.
Hall looked like he had a couple more dribbles. He could have gotten closer that time, and that's going to be a dilemma for South Carolina. Knock it down.
Hall inside, the response.
And that's where he's going to have a problem. I don't think he's big enough to handle P.J. Hall that close to the basket.
Tigers' big acquisition of the offseason, Joe Girard.
And remember, Joe Girard spent the last 4 years at Syracuse where they didn't play a lot of man-to-man.
It's a lot of 2-3, Coach Boeheim. P.J. Hall, no. Miles Stute, the rebound. Shot clock down to 5. Hall sensing that. Ian Shefflin, the rebound. And a press 20. Girard for... Off the screen, Chase Hunter. P.J. Hall on the offensive glass. And a chance for 3.
Size advantage, and Wiggins is every bit as quick as Cooper.
Outside to Hall, that's a 3. And it's good.
That's going to be hard for Josh Gray to cover. Gray is just so big and so strong. If they can get him that ball and that's close to the basket, it's going to be hard.
Hall too strong. Last bucket by Gray stopped a 7-0 Clemson run. Is taller.
Uh-oh.
Chauncey Wiggins, no. P.J. Hall, yes. 2-point game.
Now Wiggins is a guy who can shoot the 3 then.
Block number 3 for Hall.
And they've got a 5-on-4.
And Cooper skies for the rebound.
Clemson pay for it.
38-28. Hall defended by the freshman. He'll take advantage. Strong finish at the rack.
And with Clemson's offensive structure.
Looking at Hall. Shot clock down to 6. Hall double team, jump hook, no.
Hall is going to make that shot more times than not.
Hunter gets the nod at the point for Clemson. Girard, the Syracuse transfer. And Wiggins, Shefflin, and Hall for this taller Clemson team as Hall misfires. Carrington trying to get downhill, and he turns it over. Hunter, no. Hall Clemson on the follow, and Clemson's jumped out to a 4-0 lead.
Sophomore's got to take a jump here. We see one of the sophomores in the starting lineup in Chauncey Wiggins, and who's usually on the bench, but starting tonight because Jack Clark's out. Doing a really good job posting up inside, and more importantly, he's a versatile defender. So when you're young and you compete on the defensive end of the floor, it goes a long way.
He altered the shot on the other end. Hall a quick trigger off the back. Top returning scorer in the conference from a season ago. Underneath Hall with a reverse layup. Pitt loses the big.
Finished the bunnies off when assisted to from his teammates.
Comes out to help on Girard. The throwback, and the three from Hall is down.
That's
Hall battling, goes with the left, rolls across the rim, out of bounds, and it's back.
Salute to you Seminoles for a heck of a year.
Yeah, that news with the college football playoff selection show broke the internet earlier today as P.J. Hall drills
these sophomores because they take that freshman jump. That's the first year you're on campus for an entire off season. You got a year worth of film as P.J. Hall gets the easy bucket there. No help on the cross screen. And that's the
Henson and Leggett have combined for 30 of their team's 48. They need some help. Hall gets it down. Clemson by 11. They've led most of the way by double digits. Hall, catch and release. Hall twisting, and he's able to put it through.
But he is a closer. He's the type of guy that can step up when they need a basket and make a play here.
Hall from just below the foul line hoists up an air ball.
Pitt comes away with an empty possession.
Pitt always good at home. They've won 10 of their last 11 as Hall gets the bounce on the...
Feed inside, and Hall gets it in the paint. Left hand, it's good.
What a stuff off the dribble. It's almost his comfort factor. But he's going to get a lot of shots if his hands are ready just to catch and shoot. Similar just to what you saw him do right there.
Yeah,
P.J.
Hall knocks it down. Dave O'Brien, thank you. And took a tumble, tangled up with Pringle down low. Hall outside, and the three will go, and he wanted the foul call. Girard. Hall has a good look at it. And that one in and out. Nelson rebounds.
Instead of trying to play in a similar fashion to Alabama plays. Give it to him. There you go.
Hall jumper, and that's a little strong.
Out in front of all his teammates about the lack of defensive effort. And by the way, in that next game, you saw how defense translated to offense with 27 points against Oregon.
P.J. Hall back in, flips it home.
Position that we've been saying is the monumental position that they should be operating from, the post position with P.J. Hall. Playing inside out. That's how you play.
Hall knocks it down.
For teams. And playing through your strengths.
Hall backing down.
Big time.
Shot off the mark. Shefflin fight for the loose ball. Tourney in the NBA.
I love it. I love it. It creates so many different storylines, and you know, in this kind of dull period for football, the NBA needs that.
Yep. Inside, Hall got easy position and put it home. And P.J. Hall.
Here's Hall. Now to Girard. Hall left it short. Offensive rebound to the Tigers. Girard, the floater. And a 5-point advantage. Timeout taken early by
Landon Bussey. He got the message across to his team. They seem that right the ship and settle down into this game.
P.J. Hall gets into the scoring act. His first point. Got talent. Maybe the evolution of Chase Hunter makes all the difference. And an ACC that's much improved as well this year. As Hall, count it, and one.
Well, I think Brad feels sometimes you can get a tee when you least expect it.
It didn't cost him there. That short jumper won't fall for Hall. Nice rebound.
Debacle at Georgia Tech.
No, they did not. They did get their 7th win, though, against the Eagles today. How about the job Jeff Hafley has done, though, with the Eagles, too, with Thomas Castellanos at quarterback?
Oh, most players like to play more than practice, and Alcorn State's had a lot of games this week, and they look like, you know, they're feisty out there. They're going to be tough in their league, but they're not as tough as this guy. He is just
great ball movement. Gerard, mid-range Jay, nope. Hall, offensive stick back, not going to go. Well, they call it basket interference.
Push and transition. Alcorn State, whoever gets it and goes.
Too strong. PJ Hall, a load to deal with inside. As he gets a steal here, you get the feeling the Tigers, they're going to take a step forward. It might be up to Hunter. They got him in the book, though. Good ball movement. A dribble, a three, short, board. Hall, a nice second half to start. He's got 5. Lead back. Clemson plus 10 on the boards are in this one tonight. How about Hall? You've seen it now from all 3 levels. He is in three-point percentage, has a team well over 40% as a squad. Got shooters everywhere. And you got PJ Hall as well. Makes life easy.
The winner. He plays to win. He just has that look on his face from the opening tip.
He got 17 20-point performances in his career. He's nearing that number again tonight. And when it's your night, versatility, depth of his Brad Brownell team is poised to build off of 23 wins a year ago. That was a heat check for Hall.
Yeah, a couple empty positions.
Got a little more interesting with the injury to Jordan Travis. And how about the job Coach Brom has done in his first season? The head man of the Cardinals. Hall, he's got a 20-piece now. Gerard. Hall had it rejected. Great defense and closeout from Benet.
It's obviously a different level than you've been playing against.
Still some opportunities to get better at VCU, at Maryland's. Great defensive possession there for the Braves.
Brownell's trying to find the energy on defense. His team right now is good offensively, but defensively not as fundamental as Brad wants him to be. They came in here, they didn't just mail it in, that's for sure. They made Clemson play to win this game.
There's a new career high for PJ Hall. 29 points.
Clark looking low. Hall defended by Martin. 6'9" on 6'10". And PJ Hall couldn't get the right roll. Boise State has played on an ACC floor before at NC State a few years back. Hall gets that one to go down. And the Tigers' top scorer is first team with much more depth, just like Clemson. Boise State this year. Shefflin, and Hall usually finishes that shot. Boy, PJ would like to have that one back. If you follow Clemson, you probably can get an idea as to where that little nugget was dropped in from to our booth. Hall, foul trouble. Put him on the bench for the stretch run in the first half. He can't get his first attempt here out of the... Clark, Abo got a screen. Hall can't knock down the three-point try. Now to as many as 18 here in the second half. Gerard, the guy you want to have the ball. Hall back in the game, says he. And another Joe Girard. Tigers, though, maintain a 16-point lead. Coming up on 7 to play. Hall inside over Martin. And one.
I think one of the biggest takeaways so far from this game has been
out there and just tried to hit threes, but he's got a lot of game.
He does. He's very crafty with the basketball. He's an outstanding passer.
And there's some game, too.
And he's
different size, same effectiveness.
Yes, Boise State is going to go on to play Virginia Tech in Orlando. Clemson will play Alabama after Alcorn State. But this is a very physical basketball game right now. Both teams will get better because of it.
Hall 0 for 2 have had here in the second half. Cutting what was a 22-point deficit down to 18. Hall. And skying for the rebound, the 6'3" Whiting.
Just rely on the first one. Let's move it side to side a little bit and find a better one.
And when you got a guy like that, Hall, who can do things like that, didn't fall that time. You've got to keep defense.
This is a 3, Girard, and that's somebody they want to get going. But P.J. Hall's third opportunity not there for Shefflin. Hall trying to come down with it.
He will fight on the glass. That's a big Clemson front line, so they're going to have to be better than they were even against Maryland.
Hall gets that to crawl over the rim.
And a nice job by Hall to attack. And Huffman has really good positional size, about 6'4".
Hall resorts to a 3. It's short. And here's Davidson with the ball, and not even 5 minutes attempted on the year prior to that. Shefflin looking. Hall, catch, shoot, 3. And Clemson cannot buy a bucket right now. Really a guy who Coach McKillop told us has put on about 15 pounds since joining the program. He used a little bit of it there. And Davidson first half after missing his first 4 of those. Godfrey doubled. Finds Hall, who's able to get it to the rim and lay it in.
Very nice cut, heads up.
Underneath. Hall. For Davidson to get it within 2. And suddenly the threes are raining down for the Clemson Tigers, and this time screen Hall. Girard. PJ the 3. Girard feeds Hall. Turnaround jumper. Tough shot nailed down. Now the preseason all first time. Hall left it a little short that time. Really a career night for Davis. Had 20 points, 15 rebounds. Hall in and out with a 3-point attempt, but batted right into the arms of Wiggins.
Wrestle P.J. Hall.
So a huge loss for UAB 5 minutes in. P.J. Hall.
One of the things that didn't really happen until the second half in that Bradley game when they turned up the heat on their defense.
What a start.
Yeah, well, their offense in particular was really inefficient. I thought a lot of it had to do with shot selection. There was a lot of isolation.
Jack Clark's in the game. He's an interesting grad transfer coming over from North Carolina State. All back in and immediately says, yeah, I'm back in. And he's his second basket. Cuts the Clemson lead down to 4 midway through this first half. Hall going to the rim, can't be stopped. And he's already in double digits with 11. Davis, who got his second foul about 5 minutes in, and the score was 10-10, and P.J. Hall, a bit of authority there, 13 points. Hall back to the basket, Linda Borg, and P.J. Hall just made that look really easy. Three from Hall. When they need an answer, they know who they can go to. Here's Girard giving it up. That's Jack Clark. 3 around and out. Tip. P.J. Hall there again. He has 20. Hall back in. A little strong with his first shot since coming. Blazers able to bump that lead back up to 6. Hall trying to do something about that here. A very tough shot rolls off. 6th board for P.J. Hall. Hall elects to hit the 3 to shoot it. A Girard rebound back out. Dylan Hunter feeding Hall. Hall, who hasn't scored since coming back on the floor at the 10:52 mark. And gets a break there when Shaver had it, lost it, and Hall takes it right back and flushes. And it continues for Hall, who has 24. Hall looking to go to work, driving. Hall doesn't touch it. There he touches it on a rebound attempt, and now goes back up and one.
Tiger newcomers Joe Girard. Front court to Chase Hunter.
So much of it tonight for Winthrop is going to be about taking care of the basketball so that they can get up as many threes as possible. For Clemson, they're talented offensively, but they want to avoid those offensive droughts.
Nice box out by KJ Doucette. Clemson. These are the starting lineup for the Tiger team. And Chase Hunter doubled his scoring total a year ago. P.J. Hall looks to pump his up. Season ago, 9 points a game, feeding Hall left of the basket. Talford at 6'7". Size disadvantage. Hall makes him pay. Pretty nice turnaround. Fade away. And 5 seasons now they're teammates. Beadle. Hall got off to a good start. Goes right past Talford. Can't get the roll, but Wiggins cleans it up.
Chauncey Wiggins has really worked to get
Wiggins. Claxton defends. Hall, step back. And Claxton, remember you said his brother
switching them, but he was able to get free right there and knock that one down.
First field goal in some time for the Eagles. Down by 9. Hall with a baby hook. Went right up over Talford.
With his left hand as well. Offensive droughts for the Tigers. Had one short one whenever P.J. Hall went to the bench, but they were able to push the lead back out.
Hall trying again and succeeding from long range.
P.J. Hall with it.
Here
Nick
in the
Johnson,
second half, their
Nick
first
Johnson
field goal.
able to get downhill with his left hand on that layup.
How about Hall taking it to the hole?
Very similar to what you saw from Ian Shefflin.
They work it. Timmerman defending Hall. You could tell Eagles had an eye on him from a lot of defenders.
And that's a play I don't think you see P.J. Hall. The coaching staff at Clemson wants him to stay on his feet and not try to block every shot.
First bucket for the senior, Kelton Talford. He hit the deck. Play continues. Hall's having him a second half. 16 points now. Clark takes the rebound away from Talford. Hunter, Hall. P.J. Hall. Hunter inside Hall. Made it look easy.
Outstanding job by this move by Doucette.
Hunter, Godfrey able to corral. Hall, quick catch and shoot.
Jack Clark continues to be.
They've done a good job on him in the second half.
They really have.
He'll go downtown and miss. Hall, big rebound, had it slapped out of his hands.
The first rebound of the day.
70 seconds to play in Winston. Miller lobbing for Reed with Wiggins. He'll fire. And the rebound, the first of the night for P.J. Hall. Here's Girard, right corner Clark.
And these two teams obviously being the best free throw shooting teams in the ACC.
Carr left it on the rim. It's 2 possessions with a half minute to go.
I did it again.
Here's Hunter. Tigers can't.
Guy, excellent passer. Mintz off the curl. What a look from Mintz inside. I think he surprised Malik Brown. And Brown's got the excellent hands. He leads the ACC in steals with shooting too much, young man. Copeland working on Hall. Under the basket, used the rim and couldn't get it. PJ with a rebound. Here comes Dylan Hunter.
Shorter bench. The zone has been good at keeping out of foul trouble. Their rotation's been pretty good.
Jack Clark, no. P.J. Hall, yes. P.J. was 16. That's already one more than he had in the meeting in Syracuse. What a catch. Got it back. Hall will try it again, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a couple.
Those Farnham the better.
Starling lines one up, rattles out. Shefflin kept it alive, and Hall pulled it away. PJ has to take it himself. Haven't gotten Chris Bell going. And still, Syracuse down just by 8. They dared Mintz to shoot the 3, and you said you'll take that. You'll take that as opposed to him getting in the paint. I think out of bounds. Like you don't want to touch it. Okay. Can't handle it. And PJ Hall, another rebound for the big fella.
Leading shot blocker and our outstanding production crew on CW Courtside Saturday. Booth, a little bit of a heat check for Booth.
Yeah, but that's a good-looking miss. Booth is clearly focused and dialed in.
Shot clock inside of 10 for Burton.
Zone look here.
Burton just grazed the front of the rim. I've made 3s on the season for Girard. That's tied for 3rd in the conference. At the other end, it's Zona. Might have lost it on the way up, and Hall grabbed it.
Good defense from Hall to recover and defend, make him score over the top. Making him uncomfortable has been key.
And Hall is the 3rd best shot blocker in the conference. That's a miss from Jai, and Hall pulled it in. Wiggins. First points of the night for Girard. Burton rising and firing. Halfway down and out. Zona fights for it, and Hall has the save. Imes against Hunter. Trying to get the shot away.
This should be high-low basketball with Shefflin and
Imes a lot of dribbling late in the shot clock. Shrewsbury.
Big possession here for the Clemson Tigers.
Whose insertion into the starting lineup just a couple of weeks ago has changed the complexion of the team for Pitt. They are 9-2 in their last 11.
Talked about Blake Hinson before the game, and
Clemson was able to hold off Pitt back in early December in the Steel City. Nice move, did everything but finish. Lowe staying with it. And he's earned a second chance here for the Panthers.
they got to get themselves in the field of vision of the guy with the ball in an open area so he can throw it to him.
Little ISO there for
High
Carrington
travel.
and a travel. Wow, Clemson out of swing on the road. They have 6 true road wins on the year. That's 3rd in the country. Nice drive there, but couldn't knock it down. Was Lowe.
Lowe's gotten that shot anytime he's won. He hadn't made them all.
That allows Pitt into transition. Leggett stops, no look pass, layup Federico, no.
Federico has missed a couple at point-blank range. Diaz Graham missed the...
Shot clock didn't reset. Hinson at the buzzer, lets it fly. And the Tigers get the stop. Hall reaching high into the sky for it.
And interestingly enough, that's Hinson's first.
Here for the Panthers. Bub Carrington all the way to the rocket, rimmed out on him.
Boy, Pitt, Carrington's missed a couple layups. That wasn't an easy shot, but that's one he's normally going to make.
That's the first block for Clemson tonight. Hinson firing, rims out. Hall cleans the glass.
And that's his first real three-point attempt.
Here is Carrington. Leggett, open three, back iron. Too strong, Hall's got it. That is his 9th rebound. He's getting close to double-double land.
Big point.
Here's Ish Leggett. Deep three off to the left. Rebound by Hall.
The only guy that's made a three for Pitt in the second half is Carrington.
And he launches one, hits front rim. That's Watkins flying in. Watkins off the glass, doesn't get the roll. Gainey was near it, Hall has it.
And good possession right there by
Watkins drew the attention. Miller misses 3. Hall comes across for the rebound. Had it poked away. Worley tried to save.
You know, they run things for every. They're pretty well-versed offense. They're not going to any one or two. They'll go to Hall a little bit, but they'll move the ball around. They'll take the shot that's there. Last year.
Yep, lead back to 9 now. Bounce pass, Sacco the catch. Clark bothered it. Hall with the recovery. Here's Ndongo in a mismatch against Chase Hunter. Takes him baseline, missed the layup. Hall the rebound. Here's Hunter. Ndongo and Hunter blocked that. 10 to shoot for Georgia Tech. This is Kawasi Reeves, and a long three is short.
2 easy opportunities for Ndongo under the basket. That's
Rection lost the handle and turned it over. Horn, 1-on-3, elevates, bounces off the rim. Good hustle back by Jack Clark, Mike.
Just against the press, and they turn it over.
Deploying that pressure. Horn around the rim and out to Hall.
And Horn, who has not missed much in the last 4 games, to stay at home on him.
All the way to the basket again for Girard. Hall got it. Second chance. Over the shoulder. In. Girard recovered defensively. Middlebrooks for 3.
Which is, he was 1 of 12 on the year before getting that 3rd rebounder up front.
P.J. Hall, eyes for the rim. He ran into Diarra. And then the attempted save goes over the head of Hunter and out of bounds. All season before tonight. O'Connell shed the defender. That's Burns and Hall struggling for the rebound. To tie us at 77, Mo Diarra. Couldn't do it. Hall. If that's a tie-up.
Up between Hall and Norchad Omier, 2 of the best big guys in the conference. Poplar no, Hall the rebound.
Norchad Omier of Miami is having a spectacular season. He's only
Matthew Cleveland misses the 3, and Hall another rebound for Clemson.
I think if Clemson can get into some of their high-low action, more available to guards and big guys.
Boga Poplar kept alive, and Hall's got it for Clemson.
First thing you have to do, this is not but more of an opportunity to get fouled.
Nigel Pack, soft off the glass, won't go. Hall the rebound. Nigel Pack averaging better than 14, scoreless tonight. Cleveland trying to drive by Shefflin, now kicks it to Poplar. And it's Clemson ball with 9 minutes to go. Clemson down 6.
So hard to guard Miami because that little banana cut out front.
Yeah, he won't go for Omier.
He does not miss many of those. Chase Hunter's had a terrific game on a night when.
To be able to win games in the NCAA tournament, in the conference tournament, obviously you have to win on the road, you have to win away.
Girard in traffic took the contact, scores his first bucket. Joseph Girard the 3rd.
At the rim.
Clark the rebound off the miss from Miller. Here is Girard, 3-ball out front. Back rim, high, oh, and it dropped down. The circle, PJ calling for it against Carr. 10 to shoot, double team, kick for Clark, 3 away, got it. 5 in a row for Jack Clark. His 12th 3 of the year.
Yeah, 2 Mack trucks right there.
Yep. 4-point lead for Wake. Hunter for 3. Oh, Chase Hunter with a triple.
He told me to be quiet.
Yeah.
To get to the free throw line that many times. And how many times your body hits the floor and you've got to get back up and do it all over again.
Chase Hunter stops the run. That was Clemson's first make after missing 5.
Just a heck of a basketball coach and great representation of Clemson.
And an Indiana native. That's Wiggins inside.
And Wiggins buried Roper. At that point, you've lost the man to reload. And in that awkward exchange, not a good look for him.
He's missed both of his 3 attempts so far in the game. Shefflin against a double, and he spins it on in.
That's what the Tigers.
39% from out there, particularly with the shot clock running down. You got to make sure he doesn't get quite as clean a look.
There's a big bucket there for the Tigers. Hunter, who has been playing very well.
Well, that was a tough shot.
Shefflin count and the foul.
It's in front. A look at Damon Stoudemire's lineup. Shefflin for the 3 and good. Ian Shefflin, who's from Grayson, Georgia, knocks down.
Threes for DJ Horn, and that one could have been 27 feet away at least.
Right, Diarra is really paying attention to Hall now.
Clark comes back with a three.
Dribbling too much and trying to create it on your own.
Girard to the trailer. Hall now back to Girard's got deep range, and he's got all 5 early for Clemson.
Matthew Cleveland when
Hall trying to muscle his way into Brown, leaves it for Shefflin, and one. Ian Shefflin count Tuesday and now trying to escape the dome with a win. Shefflin, great patience to lay it up and in.
And that's the key word, veteran team.
Gas. I'm not sure that's going to happen to Carolina. They're a team that has more of a veteran presence, but still you wonder about their focus and their concentration.
Joseph Girard knocks down his first shot.
These are winning plays for Clemson defensively. I know R.J. Davis can score, but getting him to have a high dosage of shots off the dribble from outside the arc, those are tough shots.
Got that cut from Shefflin and Brad Brownell. Now the Tigers with just over 2 minutes to play in a 2-point lead. Girard. 4-3. Joseph Girard now has 21.
What a pass. Hall inside. Shefflin seals off Groves, who did not want to pick up his 4th foul. There's that high-low.
6 second chance points. Cardinals come into the game. They are dead last in rebound margin in ACC play, and there's Shefflin's first basket of the ball game. Ian Shefflin, number 1.
Got to have something extra in your package. Caleb Foster showing he's got it. Ball feeding Shefflin. No, and they whistle. And the opening few minutes here.
Their last 8. Girard in attack mode. Great defense by George. Hall there to keep it alive. Back to Girard. Drills the 3. Joe Girard from deep.
Chase Hunter, the 6'4" senior from Atlanta. Hall dumps it down for the stuff by Shefflin.
Able to lay it in. No rim protection right now for the Highlanders.
Hunter lobs. Hall kicks. Shefflin delivers.
Outstanding pass right there by P.J. Hall. Catches it with one hand.
Advantages in the United States, and these 18th ranked Tigers win the tip. Coming off their first loss of the season against Memphis. That guy right there, Ian Shefflin, has been phenomenal over the last 5 games.
Ian Shefflin, late game situation. The transfer from Alabama has made Memphis really dangerous. That's another really good team that has a chance to go a long ways in the NCAA tournament.
Penny Hardaway's group turned around a couple of days later.
P.J. Hall. Hall now with only 2 rebounds to go along with 12 points. Shefflin, he lowered his shoulder. Jourdain goes down. No call from the official on the spot there.
Hall, they'll switch back. David Jones back on Hall.
Good ball movement and a slam for Godfrey.
Good recognition by Hall. Memphis collapsed defensively.
That's what you're talking about.
Absolutely. Right? TCU's back. You don't have anything. Now run your secondary action. That's good offense by Clemson.
Yeah, Hall lays it off and gets the stuff out of it as Clemson makes it 11. Ball to the wing, and he got 3 for Wiggins, just his 8th of the...
Ready 4 points.
And so far in this game, South Carolina doing about whatever they want on the offensive end.
Here's Girard. 5 quick on the board for 11 in white, and he's saying he was fouled.
Where they need to go.
Stute thinking about the double team outside for 3. And a big start to the second half for Chauncey Wiggins.
But and it's been a tough matchup for Clemson.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because you looked at them, watched them during shoot-around. The basic implication was they passed the eye test. Inside, that was Godfrey.
CC assist leader. At his size, he can get to the paint, elevate over smaller guards, and shoot or pass.
Wiggins, the 6'11" post player, stepping out.
Hunter, big steps. Girard, a clean look. He'll hit it every time. His 5th 3, he's up.
Hall one-on-one with Federico.
Double comes. Wiggins is open, and he makes him pay from the elbow.
Don't try to go up and under. Go through.
Yeah.
Like he has a 40-inch vertical. He should be going through people or over the top.
Shefflin got good position and a nice feed from Hall.
The whole time that
Hunter, wide open look, couldn't knock it down. Shefflin
is so big time.
Great job by Shefflin to tap it to Hall and then got.
An insane schedule for the Braves as Hunter tees it up and buries a long three.
Really like the backcourt of Chase Hunter and Joe Nolent around the rim.
17 against the Horned Frogs earlier this week. How about that pass? You said it. Hall can do it all on the find to Shefflin.
Or Thorne.
Coach, how do you want to see the Tigers attack the zone?
Well, they're doing a good job. They're going high-low, 3 out, 2 in, and they're just moving the ball, and they're going through the middle of the floor.
For beyond the arc. Gambrell's got the last 5 for the Braves as Shefflin continues.
But the story of this game is from the Tigers' half-court defense in the second half. Another for Girard.
Going to try again. Girard. There it is. Hall facing up, double, finds the cutting Godfrey, blocking foul and one. Nice cut. Nice drive there. This time Girard taking it to the rim.
Huffman, he refused it. Couldn't come up with a clean finish.
Hall. Hemingway.
Incredible how they double early, Mark. Javian Davis, big first game, as you said. Clemson going to be aggressive in their coverage.
Ian Shefflin, this is a junior for the Clemson Tigers. Chase Hunter makes it a 2-point game.
Eagles turn it over again, half a dozen so far. Hall dumping, Godfrey on the finish.
P.J. Hall is an outstanding passer from the perimeter. Not only does he make...
Tigers lead is 16. Like Clemson might run out to a 20-point advantage several times. Godfrey, beautiful look inside.
Another assisted field goal by the Tigers. Again, that is...
They hand off for Hunter. Back to Hall. Ranging inside. They take it away from him.
You know, these guys, what type of team they are.
Chase Hunter, 2 points. P.J. Hall, 2 points. Joe Girard, 5. That's 9. And a turnover by Clemson. And a foul coming through the backcourt will be...
Dive right to the basket. Good.
Girard off a Hall screen. And P.J. Hall is going to be called for the...
See Girard back in the game. Just a quick little...
Here's P.J. Double team coming. Got knocked off balance. They're going to call a travel.
I don't know about that one.
Covington, Pat Driscoll, and Brian O'Connell, a veteran crew here, and Hall on senior night, and there's going to be a little bit of nerves for PJ. I'm not sure that's the reason for that, but there are a lot of emotions given. PJ has to take it himself. Ooh. Might as well just keep it. Good look, but Shefflin couldn't handle it. Ian diving to the basket.
Recover and defend, make him score over the top.
Girard with the kick. Hall thought about a 3, drove it and lost it. Fight for the loose ball and a foul against the Tigers. Davis a steal. Eyes for the rim. Hall trying to defend.
Early December in the Steel City. Nice move, did everything but finish. Lowe staying with it. And he's earned a second chance here for the Panthers.
P.J. Hall.
Jeff Capel said Leggett really embraced the role of coming off the bench for the team. Said he's a starter in my eyes. Traveling violation. Hall walked the 7th turnover.
Leonard Hamilton's team early in the first half. Hall the entry, knocked away. Corin got in the passing lane. Worley's
giving him 5 points.
Junior from Hartford, Connecticut, a transfer from Georgetown and Duquesne in his first year in the Florida State program. We are going the other direction.
A total of 8 points. P.J. Hall, who turned 22 today, and Tafara Gapari get us going, and P.J. Hall just went over and back. And P.J. knew it as soon as he did it. Yeah.
P.J. Hall, eyes for the rim. He ran into Diarra. And then the attempted save goes over the head of Hunter and out of bounds. How about the defense by the Pack? That's 77 Modiara. Couldn't do it. Hall. If that's a tie-up, it is.
That Brad Brownell loves is that Jack Clark's doing a lot of rebounding from the small forward position, if you will. 25 rebounds in the last 3 games.
And he was a good rebounder at NC State. 9 points.
In the lane by Judah Mintz.
Hence the near 3-minute scoring drought. Brown pokes it away again. Malik Brown has been all over P.J. Hall to start this game. Doesn't fall, second chance. Judah Mintz trying to stick with it. Hall rips it away and then travels. Way over the head of Girard. So Syracuse is forcing turnovers. That's now 10 turnovers.
So much more confidence and less hesitation.
Poked away by Brown. Looking for Mintz. Feeds it back to Brown. Locked in. Taylor swipes it away. Bell working on Girard. Jeff went ahead to Hall. They're going to have to foul. Tough pass.
But instead, Hall with an errant pass, a poor mistake for a veteran to make. Now R.J. Davis trying to find a little bit of room.
Matchup with his physicality of Hall. Gets blocked by Minor, throws it off the underside of the backboard. And the officials are going to come together and say that ball was out of bounds off the...
You will get that, others will not. Here's Girard for Hall. Backing down, he walked Okorafor, and P.J. Hall walked with it against Emmanuel Okorafor. Oh, what a pass. Here's Girard front court. He'll spin into traffic, leave it for Hall. He got stripped going up. White for Clark. And look, Girard thought about it. Now for Hall. P.J. the catch. Tried to save it. He thought he got knocked out of bounds. Instead, here's Huntley Hatfield trying to get to the basket.
But he steals it. Proctor.
Walk up into Hall. Rejected, goes back up with it. Jump ball. Possession arrow with Georgia Tech.
Buy their guys a few more trips there. That's exactly right. But that's why Clemson's going to want to continue to go inside to try to put the onus on the official. Back-to-back turnovers.
And Kelly right in the middle of both of them. He keeps himself. What a recovery. And he still has 24. But ball's kept alive into the hands of Beadle. And there's R.J. Godfrey crashing the offensive glass. Now Madsen breaks out and lays it in off the steal.
Great second effort by Gillespie.
In the Hall. Working on Poteet. Not a clean pass. And a takeaway. Padula with his 4th steal.
Good help. In the first 30 seconds.
Johnson throws it away. Harrison Ingram in transition. He comes in averaging 13 points and 7 rebounds a game for the Tar Heels. Contact on the baseline and an offensive foul.
That have been threes. You've got to run him off the three-point line, make him put it on the deck.
What a battle it should be between Hall and Omier tonight. Now a steal, though, by Bensley Joseph. And recovers early here tonight.
Norchad Omier is listed at 6'7", but I think he's more like 6'5". An undersized big, but he's just so strong.
We're playing the basketball, but doesn't he look like the kind of guy who NFL scouting directors might say, you know what? I wonder if he can play some football. There have been tight ends, obviously,
play from behind.
Pack now with 19. He is the high scorer in the game. Backdoor taken away by George.
Just a poor pass from P.J. Hall.
Away P.J. Hall. How they respond, how P.J. responds will be key to their season.
North Carolina and Duke, as we mentioned at halftime, some huge wins for them.
Saturday in the Hall of Fame series in Toronto, Canada. That's their first miss, but Hall gets the offensive rebound and then it's stripped.
And this is where Memphis wants to take advantage. Transition.
Jones sashaying down.
Good job by Walton. You don't have to go for the fakes for Hall.
Dangerous pass intercepted by David Jones.
Good job by Jones. Not there, don't have to force it.
Clock off. Clemson can wind down for a final shot here, up 7. Chase Hunter working against Young off the screen, and Hall is met. He may get a technical foul here. He's arguing.
Transfers to Clemson. Good help.
Mills gets the steal.
Great job, Memphis, helping with Mills on the steal.
Yeah, great anticipation there by.
Just like it when Memphis has been patient and gotten it to the rim. They put so much pressure, and also it spends a lot of energy.
Dandridge the steal.
Just pick it up.
Dandridge reverse. No.
It's going to be a story all game long. TCU, a team that loves to get on the offensive glass. You're the Clemson Tigers. It's about checking out every time down.
P.J. Hall just lost the basketball, tried to get it back.
Dylan Hunter, the sophomore from Georgia, drops it off down low, and Hall and redirected out of his hand. Miller up ahead.
Good job by Peavy there. He saw that screen in. That's a design turn down on the ball screen. They're trying to get Girard a shot.
And they really heated him up that possession. Here's Nelson playing down the lane.
Led the team with 39 dunks a season ago. Pitts on the board. Panthers off and running, and an easy fit. ACC made 3 on the year. It's tops in the conference. Clemson scored the first 6. The last 7 belong to Pitt.
Taking away the transition baskets and forcing you to play 5-on-5.
Carrington, a tough fall away. Gets it back, pulls. Another miss, and Hall rips it down.
Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. Feed inside. Hall with the size advantage. Spins. Lost the ball.
Yeah, the test for Clemson is going to be more methodical.
Oh, he's got 12. Hall had it knocked away, and the foul is on P.J. Hall.
On Godfrey. Couldn't get the fadeaway. Nice defense by the Tigers sophomore forward. And we'll get a double dribble called. I don't know the last time I've seen a double dribble called.
Which is their largest of the game. Again, keep in mind Davidson led by 18 at one point.
Hall, a dribble, swatted away, Brizzi.
Tried to get up and under, and Hall would have none of that. Took it right away. Then Hall tried to make a quick dish, and he turns it over. Gains the other way. And
doesn't have numbers, gives to Hunter. Good defensive recovery by the Eagles that time. Here's Hall. Now Girard. Hall went to set a screen. That'll be his first personal.
And that's something that Coach Brown
Under 10 to go with Hall back out on the floor with a couple of fouls, but they want him to maybe take a shot. And driving to the basket, knocked away. Claxton couldn't beat the buzzer.
Back to Salas with 5 to shoot. There's a double team. They dig around for it. Hall's got the turnover.
Just a bad possession. Playing too slow. They need to be able to pick up the pace a little bit on that side of the ball.
Credit so far on 4 attempts. Out of the timeout, Miller, Reed, Zach Keller playing tonight, and a turnover by Wake Forest. Or 18 in the game, 16 and a half. Eric, excuse me. And you're right, he's not shying away at all. He deflects the entry pass and forces the turnover. 6-point game, 4.5 to go.
Girard had Baba Miller on him, crafty enough to get by him and finish. What Clemson's got to do is they got to make Florida State pay.
Another turnover. Clark ahead of the field. Green got back.
Did a lot of things. They don't look just at the net. I think it's used too much by the prognosticators, but I think they look at road wins. They look at your non-conference.
Clear everybody out.
10 to shoot. These are two teams that did not turn it over very much at all. 12 minutes.
Yeah, we've given Duke a lot of credit for the way they've guarded Girard. We got to also give Clemson a lot of credit for the way they've bottled up Filipowski.
Hunter goes in strong after they...
You got to throw it in there. There's a mismatch right here. Dongo against Hunter.
Hall intercepts it.
I mean, it's not going to show up in the...
Knocked away, P.J. Hall. He's had a couple of takeaways. George left it off for Claude, couldn't handle it.
Is right now at the elbow. That's where Post has been at to play through him, and it's just a different feel when you've got Post playing, who's also a great passer, more so than McLaughlin at that position.
They give up a few inches, that makes that...
From someone's lips. On the drive, Ingram got bottled up underneath. And here comes Girard, 36-34 Clemson.
Staff, 5 on the shot clock. Turner, a big who's known for his outside shot, tried to feed it to Smith. Tigers forcing another turnover.
You're seeing
the on Radford.
And you're seeing the aggressiveness right now in the ball. Tigers continue to move the ball very well. Great rotation right there defensively by Ian Shefflin.
Hall just made a bucket. Now he forces the turnover. Looking to give it back
after Highlanders.
Back out to a 23-point advantage. That matches the largest of the night. Another turnover by a usually efficient team, but then Girard will give it right.
And I don't blame him.
Oh, the depth of the ACC will be put to test here this season. They've been off to a better start. How about Hall? In the transition. Oh, what a jam! P.J. Hall defense.
Started the season, the transfer from Wichita State, on a torrid beginning and has been cold ever since. Bad pass by Mills, and Memphis turns it right back over to Clemson.
Court blocked by Hall.
Oh, down on the ground, they both went.
Mind Shefflin has 4 fouls.
Johnson hit another gear, and the pass picked off by Hall.
Shefflin and Hall for this taller Clemson team as Hall misfires. Carrington trying to get downhill, and he turns it over. He leads the ACC at 21 points per game. Hall throwing it off the hip of Henson. Screen gets the finish. And a steal from Hall.
Face off to just a 1-for-7 start from the field. 1 of 4 3-point shooting, and Hall comes away with a steal. Well, the 4 teams here in Asheville, Chris, Davidson, Maryland, UAB, and Clemson. There's a turnover. Arguably, UAB had the toughing Hall. Hall, who hasn't scored since coming back on the floor at the 10:52 mark. And gets a break there when Shaver had it, lost it, and Hall takes
on the crossover. Shot clock under 10 for McMahon. Defended by Godfrey. McMahon looking inside Talford, and there was Hall. Back into the game after getting a rest. Eagles turn it over.
Looking for someone to open up here with 5 on the shot clock. He's going to have to drive it. Got it inside, and a clean block that time by Hall.
And great job by Hall going straight up, not
13. Joe has 15 against his former squad. Oh, gets it knocked out by P.J. Hall.
I timed it playing without foul.
Shrewsbury in a congested area, and that one's swatted away by Hall. Out of bounds, and it will stay with the...
Now looking inside. Ball poked away, turned over. Leggett, open court, shoulder down, Hall. Not in his house. No Federico. Big offensive rebound clock. Did not reset. Low block shot. Leggett with three. Mid-range jumper's good.
Boy, that is. Ball ends up with Baba Miller. What a pass to Worley.
Good block by P.J. Hall.
And when Hall came in, 2.5 minutes to play in regulation. Watkins angling
great
in.
block by Shefflin. Great weak side help by Ian Shefflin.
Boy, Clark doing a good job preventing him from wiring the baseline, and Reeves ran into trouble underneath the basket.
Who has forced more turnovers.
Knicks in attack mode, swatted by Hall. Gerard.
He's going to score every time.
Copeland rejected by Hall. Through the legs to Bell. Did well to keep the... Poked away by Brown. Looking for Mintz. Feeds it back to Brown. Rejected by Hall. P.J. Hall, great transition defense.
McNeely and Groves. Kane Murray had the last 2 free throws for UVA. Here's Beekman in the paint, and P.J. Hall sends it into the front row. Again, on that side, to that curl action, he was good. James slashing to the basket, blocked by Hall, and recovered by White. Clemson couldn't gather. Here's Curtis Williams.
One of a great crowd expected from the Tucker Center. Baba Miller, a lob for Jalen Worley. On the reload was met by P.J. Hall, and then nearly turned over.
Hall, Wiggins, and Clark all above 6'10", and then you've got Shefflin at 6'8", but his numbers would tell you he's 7 foot as he grabs another rebound.
Well, P.J. Hall got a piece of that.
Their head coach Damon Stoudemire on a 5-game losing streak, and they could have won all 5 of them. Kelly rejected. And a foul call.
Yeah, when he looks at the stat sheet after this game, should they get a win?
Hall guarding Kelly.
A lot of game left here.
Great defensive stand by Clemson coming out of the timeout. Under 3 minutes left now.
Again, take there by P.J. Hall right to the rim. Whether it's the dribble, the pass, the post up, they want to get in the paint.
A 20-piece, little rim protection.
As they continue to move in the ACC, they're going to play. Hall will have guys he's playing against more like Quentin Post. Where today he's not playing on that matchup.
That was gross.
It's been longer than a 30-second possession now because of the kickball to the reset. Padula driving it on Hall. A shot blocked. It's picked up by M.J. Collins. That was a...
Withers gives it off. Trimble in heavy traffic, lost it. No whistle on the play. Gerard gives it up in trans.
Brought Hall back into the game as soon as he saw O'Meara check in.
Yeah, Clemson can be pretty deep. Beautiful play out of bounds.
And Shefflin bothered it just enough that Cleveland couldn't finish.
Radford led moments ago 3-2. Turner on the drive around Hall, who swats it away. For PJ, his 29th block of the season among the...
Hall looked like he might have took a knee off the thigh. He was grabbing it right after making the bucket. Oh, didn't bother him there. Hall went up and rejected Albury. He does everything well, Mark.
Is he fun to watch? Now he's going to sprint the floor.
What available? Just a little late on the feed.
Yeah, bad pass, telegraphed it, did everything wrong.
Cash. Hall went straight up with 2 hands. It'll stay with Queens.
55% effective field goal percentage, which is also number 2 in the ACC. That's why they've been so successful.
They check a lot of boxes. And after last year, is that layup?
On Quinterly, David Jones. I mentioned Ashton Hardaway along with Nicholas Jourdain and Malcolm Dandridge. Dandridge blocked from behind by Hall. One of the top shot blockers in the country. Blocked by Hall. Jones picks it up. Jones gets it swatted away, but they're going to call a foul.
High screen, see if Quinley can do something off the screen.
Dylan Hunter defending. Oh, Jones, and it was blocked by P.J. Hall. What a pass by Quinterly. What a defensive play by Hall. And
it's a three for P.J. Hall. That won't go.
Nice job by Xavier Cork of stopping that ball off the ball screen, but getting back to P.J. Hall.
Oh, P.J. Hall swats it away. And that's what you're talking about.
The Clemson can look to take advantage of that inside.
Great awareness by Shefflin. Real hard, and that's blocked away. P.J. Hall with the defense. Peavy lifts
the ball screen. They're trying to get Girard a shot.
And they really heated him up that possession. Here's Nelson playing down the lane. Hall redirects it off the rim, actually, eventually, and a foul.
Mack rejected by Godfrey. He'll get it back. Swatted again. Tigers with time. Beadle stripped by.
Shooting over 40% from three on the season. Not tonight. Neither team's turned it over much.
Clean game on that front. Hall the block from behind. Shot clock under 10. Johnson was scorching hot in the first half. Block number 3 for Hall. Tigers 3 of 10 from deep. South Carolina 5 of 14. And Hall says not tonight.
That's his third block shot in the second half.
Girard just knocks down an open three. Just a tough play against his only guard.
6th 3 of the game for Girard. Just moved up another spot in the all-time.
Averaging 25 and 4. Feed inside, good look from Nelson. And Wagee had it knocked away.
Good look for Nelson, but that's never. But Seth is absolutely right. I mean, that's how you control the shooting from the outside. You make the boards a competition, and you slow down the pace of the game. One of the most staggering.
Late start, but obviously for the Crimson Tide here at home, and they're in the middle of a tough stretch. I mean, Nate Oates talked about it.
Strong. Shefflin tipped it out, but Alabama has it. Estrada. Ooh. Oh, quick move. And Hall knocked it out of bounds.
Massenet. Hawkins on the drive. Great defense by Hall and Shefflin. Clemson 6 of 12 now from the free throw line. 50%. They shot well, though, from the floor. 50% in both of those areas.
Martin leads them in rebounds. Scored about 8 points in his first 2 games apiece. That time Hall with a nice defense. PJ
Skogman's already hit one. Gives it up Huffman. Huffman, good play by Ian Shefflin to knock that loose, and they're saying it's a Brizzy. A dump off by Logan. Since Davis is fouled out. Here's the North Carolina transfer on Hall. Tried to get up and under, and Hall would have none of that. Took it right away. Facing up, Shaver trying to get around Hall, who again is strong defensively. UAB has a timeout. Gaines blocked by Hall. Tied up possession. Oh, yep, they're going to call the ball screen. It turns into a layup.
PJ Hall, 14 points just like that, and a rejection, but he was unable to save it to his teammate Wiggins. A little bit too strong for him.
See starting lineup. That includes Mason Madsen and Quincy Post, along with McLaughlin and Zachary and Claudel Harris. And 2 in pretty good shape. Post opening up in the second half lineup. He'll hook it up there and drop it in.
Just great touch by
Quentin. A clean, easy look.
Reed going to work on Hall. And that'll be an offensive foul on Efton Reed. That's his third. He's got 13 in the ball game. Fredrickson Meanwhile, Hall goes down. Reed will catch and score. Carr with 11 to shoot. Entry for Reed against Hall.
You got to go at him.
Reed turns, scores.
And you know, Hall has to be careful right there with the
NC State, and he's going to have to rely on guys to make plays, and Shefflin kept his composure.
DJ Burns with a nifty turnaround for two. Shot clock's at 10 for Burns. Over Hall, misfires. Pack. Burns, turnaround. Diarra. DJ Horn led the way with 11. He's the only player in our game so far in double digits in scoring. This is Burns forcing the issue and scoring.
Hurricanes with an outstanding season a year ago, went 15-5 in the ACC, co-league champs. O'Meara denied by Hall, but first field goal in over 5 minutes for the Tigers has him back within 3. Turnaround O'Meara. Great box out there.
Girard in his career at Syracuse had struggles against North Carolina. It's 11 of 43 in the 4 coming in tonight. Baycott misses his first shot. Girard's coming the other way.
Absolutely battling Baycott down low for position on the block. But Clemson showing a little zone here. Saw this in practice this morning. Here's Baycott who rolls it in. North Carolina had 17 points off of 11 turnovers by Duke in their last game, and that allowed them to get a rhythm offensively.
Baycott draws the foul on Hall. To herself saying, I can't. Here comes Cormac Ryan. Baycott has Hall buried deep, and that'll be an easy one. Davis on the push. Baycott's got it inside. And it's an offensive foul on Armando Baycott, and that's...
Groves feeds Minor. Single coverage with Hall. Minor's on the dribble. Jordan Minor left-handed. He's scoreless. No more. The bump from Girard. Minor on the bounce. Solo with Hall. Minor just shoves it up on the rim. And he draws the foul. P.J. Hall.
Start. Tigers in front by 3. Here's Huntley Hatfield with Hall defending. He'll take the long jumper as an air ball. Gottfried had it.
The schedule that they played.
Sure was. 4 to shoot. Hatfield working baseline. Can't finish. R.J. Godfrey the rebound.
I think there's been some surprising players. Nathan George, for example, for Georgia Tech, didn't even play in the first couple games.
Yep. Jump.
And now Roach with a touch for Filipowski, averaging 18 and 9 on the back down, and a foul with 13-20 the road in this environment. Filipowski first touch of the second half, barricaded in along the baseline, and he's going to travel with it and turn it over. So defensively, throwing a bit of a monkey wrench in the plans for the Blue Devils as they get Filipowski and Roach back on the floor. Banging with Hall, and Hall will commit the foul. Took a shot to the north. Great play by McCain coming up, getting the turnover. Filipowski working hard, short.
Against Georgia Tech, that was Boston College's win in the league. Fun, high-scoring game into the upper 80s and 90s. Hook shot short from McLaughlin.
Based on his size onto that baseline, he's able to get a good look just on his size alone.
McLaughlin bangs his way in, misses the bunny.
Good as well, and Coach Boeheim is, and also I think Luke Hancock's in studio, and his Joel Berry in studio is tonight as well too.
You're just going to go down the entire ACC now.
He's done a good job of that all season so far.
Virginia Tech, the 8th best offensive team in the ACC by adjusted efficiency. They get it inside to Kidd. He scores over his former team to go in the first half. So Virginia Tech will not be with its second leading scorer for the season here in this second half. Lynn Kidd starts the half by being walled up. Jalen Young cleans up the rebound for Tech. Each team with 3 players ready to check in, which will be at the under 8. And that's an offensive foul drawn by Hall.
Tigers have played their way into that classification. Should have made the tournament last year. That was a serious snub, as serious as it gets. Baycott keeps on fighting and fighting thus far. Shefflin now at 12 points. Clemson still hasn't made a 3. They're 0 for 10. Baycott too strong.
And you could so that was
Seth Trimble. Baycott on Hall. Hall going down. They're going to call that a blocking foul.
Of horse, I think Nigel Pack is the first pick in this gym tonight.
Gerard's not far behind.
Yeah, that's true.
Omier over Hall. Miami by 3. A touch for Omier. One-on-one with Hall. Hall the foul, number 4.
Here's Court banging into Hall. Hall recovered nicely. Another try. That foul was coming for where he's going to be. First year together. Mustafa spinning on Hall. No, sir.
That was a laser beam off.
As Peavy sets up Anderson, who's been sort of thwarted by 2 fouls as well. Xavier Court.
Man, everything but the finish.
Here's Gray with position. Strong finish with a left hand.
And that's going to be a problem for Pete. You play his zone because your opponent is moving so well and it slows him down.
Mack was stripped. He was fouled going up.
Hall bangs. Offensive. Yeah, he lowered that.
Nelson with Hall on him. Nelson inside, and Hall with the 4 fouls had to be careful.
A foul with that second straight NCAA tourney trip. 51 wins in the past 2 seasons for the team based in Idaho's state capital. First bucket of the game. Cam Martin didn't score against Davidson, so that's got to feel good. To go a week with that thought in his mind. Stanley tried to get it down low. Martin leads them in rebounds. Scored about 8 points in his first 2 games apiece. That time point guard for them, the sophomore. Now Martin backing in on Hall. Can't get the hook to go. Degenhardt offensive glass. What? Martin drives on Hall. Little contact. And Hall.
Over the 21 points had come in the paint. Scogan getting down low, and he just got positioned there on P. Had Clemson not fallen in the first round to Morehead State, UAB would have gone to Littlejohn to play. But that did not happen. Here's a P.J. Hall. How do I reinvent the wheel? Artificial intelligence. Eric Gage trying to get it over the top. Hey, look who's back in the game. It's Javian Davis. Hall's got 18 points. He averaged 15 points a game last year. Averaged 18 in conference play. Took one on the... Well, the 4 teams here in Asheville, Chris. Davidson, Maryland, UAB, and Clemson. There's a turnover. Arguably, since Davis is fouled out. Here's the North Carolina transfer on Hall. Tried to get up and under, and Hall would have none of that. Took it right. Facing up, Shaver trying to get around Hall, who again is
on the crossover. Shot clock under 10 for McMahon. Defended by Godfrey. McMahon looking inside Talford, and there was Hall. Back into the game after getting a
Those stretches that are important this season as they look to have a great year. Can they maintain that offensive flow and not have those droughts?
Hall hitting the deck. Offensive out there. Harrison. Johnson. Now Timmerman. And the former Bucknell Bison can't get it to go. Driving inside.
Hill right there to his left hand. Right there to the rim, able to finish that.
Wiggins now with a couple of personals in the game. Halford quiet so far. Go to the arrow and go back this in the defensive ball screen coverage. Tigers opening up their biggest lead of the night. Halford gets the finger roll. Nice move around Hall.
And Hall very fortunate not.
Clark getting the block. Eagles keep it. Timmerman backing in on his fellow 6'10 Hall. Big fella. 1-footer, no.
For Brad Brownell before taking over the job at Charleston, so he understands a little more about what Brownell wants to do.
Post again, that glances off. That's right, spent 1 to 65 ended the Hurricane season. Miami ending the season on a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah, impressive performance by the Eagles and impressive by Jay-Z coming.
Back to Salas with 5 to shoot. There's a double team. They dig around for it. Hall's got the turnover.
Just a bad possession. Playing too slow. They need to be able to.
7 for Clark. He had 7 the other night against Syracuse at Littlejohn. Tigers again by a point. Hildreth the scoop. Tap, follow Marsh. Good. And the foul.
Pull him. That's enough. He's shooting too much, young man. Copeland working on Hall. Under the basket. Used the rim and couldn't get it. PJ with the rebound.
And a great job by PJ Hall to get into that position.
Syracuse has offset a lot of its rebounding woes by getting steals, which they've been great at. And it certainly helps the patience from Brown to get that pass. Third turnover. Now Mintz ducks inside. Hall and a little finger roll. Judah Mintz.
Irish have made 7 threes in the game. Davis going to drive it over the defender Hall. What composure.
Bob Miller on him. Crafty enough to get by him and finish. What Clemson's got to do is they got to make Florida State pay. Another turnover. Clark ahead of the field.
Things for him to try to get him looks.
You know, they run things for everyone. They're a pretty well-versed offense. They're not going to any one or two. They'll go to Hall a little bit.
54% shooting as a team in this first half. Way above their season average, Mike, of 44%. Morcell, high degree of difficulty. Did not get the...
Not sure Brad Brownell is going to be happy with that one. Essentially off the first pass. Poplar into traffic, and Hall just stood him up. No foul.
He's going to score every time.
Copeland rejected by Hall. Through the legs.
5 to shoot. McNeely nowhere to go with it. Beekman again. Beekman driving. Beekman got the rim and in traffic. Minor.
I don't know that Sky Clark looks like he's going to come back in this game or not. Here's Trey White at the front. Long 2, good for White.
Well, he's the night. Shots that he normally makes, that little left-handed shot just right on top of the rim.
Frustrating night for P.J. Hall from a scoring perspective. Here,
clear everybody out.
10 to shoot. These are two teams that did not.
Alabama and Pittsburgh, he had 31 rebounds combined in those 2 games.
It's really been an X factor for the Tigers. Foster with a pull-up. Can't drain it. 5-point lead for the Blue Devils and the ball. Foster drives it and draws the foul. He's not afraid.
0 second chance points, all in favor of the Tigers. That has been the equalizer for them in this game.
Roach can't scoop it in. Shefflin another rebound.
Points in Coral Gables, and they never trailed in that game. Jalen Worley, the point guard you mentioned, playing a lot better recently, and he's got a bucket. Constant. The hottest teams in the ACC. Jackson around the corner screen, the lob, and a foul.
And that's the problem that this Florida State defense presents again. He shot fakes the center, he drives, then another wing comes over for the second time, blocks a shot. It's just something that...
Got him with 6. Watkins driving on. Hall takes the contact plus a foul.
He and Kawasi Reeves are pretty good on the outside for Georgia Tech.
George takes it himself, misfires. Streak on the road against one of the ACC top teams.
I'm waiting for Miles Kelly to get going.
Has it here. Turnaround jumper. Got it.
I think they have to play through him. When he looks at the stat sheet after this game, should they get a win?
Hall guarding Kelly.
A lot of game left here.
Great defensive stand by Clemson coming out of the top.
Look, Earl Grant, who's done a tremendous job there at Boston College at this point, knows that he's going to have to get those guards to find ways to score the ball.
Well, that'll help Jalen. It's more similar than it is different when you look at Earl Grant's team and Brad Brownell's team because of that influence coaching together. Harris banks it in. Oh. And Chase Hunter, he was challenged by this coaching staff after that loss against Virginia Tech midweek. Coming out hitting shots, and the follow-up goes down.
To be a high level player, both offensively and defensively.
They've asked him to be a little bit more confrontational, too. Zachary gets in to score again, but that's what they've asked for from Chase.
The accolades that those guys are in there, that they've never really even got a cup of coffee in the NBA. People don't fully understand it's almost impossible to play in that league.
McLaughlin back up and in by Shefflin.
But Chauncey Wiggins did not have inside position, but knocked it right to Shefflin.
Pack using the screen by Omier.
Quick shot fake, sidestep, knocks down the three.
Giles over the reach of Hall. Shefflin pulling down another to a second half here at home. Guy with the ball right now is somebody they're trying to get going tonight. Their top scorer, Antoine, and they set a play for him, but he can't knock it down.
Jay Hall is in the zone.
Boy, is he fun to watch.
.6-0 run to start the second half for Memphis. Clemson in the zone. Malco the screen for Quinterly. Malco tried to follow.
Time he gets it, he knows where to go with it.
1 point lead for Memphis. The stop and start by Quinterly.
That's a pretty move. That's experience.
Mack between the legs. Shot clock under 5.
Who do they get? Simple, stupid, right? Like every coach talks about it. Less is more.
I'm trying my best here.
Yeah.
Nelson inside off the glass and good.
A team from the three-point line and right in this ball game.
Bama started 0 for 9 from 3. Late start, but obviously for the Crimson Tide here at home, and they're in the middle of a tough stretch.
Area. 12 for Hunter to go along with 5 assists.
He's done it from 3. He's done it from the mid-range. I mean, his versatility is really what stands out. All last year, too, Mark, he was wearing momentum. But you're right. It's a big possession here.
But hits a huge
from a 15-win team a year ago that struggled down the stretch. Again, deep in the shot clock. The pull-up by Johnson. Can't get it to go. Wiggins, another Clemson rebound.
Can't get it to go. BC with another chance. In the corner, the long one. That won't drop. Off target by...
I know Coach Brownell wants him to shoot too much more of those threes.
Double team kick out for Salas. He will fire again and hit. 6 for Hunter. Right back for Boopy off the Reed screen. Skip for Hildreth. Boy, nice crisp ball movement by the Deacons, and Reed missed the 3. Reed lost it, shovels it out. Fredrickson. Back for Reed, a 3, short. How about Efton Reed?
13. Joe has 15 against his former squad. Oh, gets it knocked out by P.J. Hall.
Gerard on Shrewsbury. Shot clock is at 6. Zona. People down low to Shefflin. 6 points now for Shefflin, one of the top rebounders in the ACC. In fact, 9.5 boards is the best of the conference.
Points to the paint for Clemson.
Notre Dame has won 4 of its last 5 games. Have to overcome the early second half deficit, and that will help.
Or a cutter, and then contesting anything he does at the rim, making him uncomfortable has been key.
And Hall is the 3rd best shot blocker in the conference. That's a miss from Jai.
At the Clemson bench, did Brad Brownell give you permission to yell at Joe Girard when he came off the floor, anything like that?
Only if he gets beat bad defensively.
Okay.
3 ball back.
Joe Girard isn't even in the game. But I think Coach Stoudemire is just trying to get calmed down a little bit. They're wearing down.
Yeah.
83-79. That pass deflected, nearly intercepted. Morcell grabbed it, and the shot clock's at 5.
On that time, they got burned.
The threes already in the game, not this time. Into the corner, and that'll be a 3.
Second 3 of the game. He's got 8. Clemson by 6. Joseph hoists a 3 and rattles it home.
Ian Shefflin guarding Matthew Cleveland, so he's going to be outside the lane.
Shefflin the rebound.
Does such a good job using his body and positioning himself, both to score and to rebound. You talk about a guy who's gotten better every year. He's a junior now out of Loganville, Georgia.
Shot clock at 10. Ince lost the handle. It falls to Bell. Corner three. Missed it. Falls right back.
Right now, and they really started well. They just put a little bit of a tough patch. But a talented veteran team that has shown up ready to play tonight.
Right on top of the rim. Frustrating night for P.J. Hall from a scoring perspective. Here is White. He'll launch a three, and that's no good. Look at Jack White keep it alive. And
Dongo lines up the three off the mark. Tech now or never time. Yellow Jackets trying to avoid a 6-game losing streak. Sturdivant a three, and he's fouled. Hall commits the foul.
That one left short by Padula. Nobody really chased it for Clemson. So Barron has the offensive rebound. And then Barron is rewarded. Padula. Barron wraps it around to Couture. A couple of extra passes. Padula from nickel. And there's a late whistle and a foul.
Hall's got a height advantage on Omier, but Omier, and Hall is strong, but Omier's in a whole other league, it looks like.
2-3 zone is making Miami a little bit more of a stationary offensive team.
Cleveland from 18 knocks it down.
He's dangerous.
Great pass, ball movement, the three not there. It was Pollard. Oh my goodness. Right back at you, Ashby.
Well, I'm sure that Grant Leonard expressed his displeasure, but challenged his team. Look, but he's starting to get physically tougher, been a little bit soft throughout his career, but he's a huge guy. He's got that unicorn effect in the game where he does a lot of different things with size.
McLaurin.
Doesn't matter with him.
Clemson to dominate the offensive glass.
That one called on Shefflin. 5 team fouls now against Clemson. Walton for three.
Got to worry about.
So far, game of runs. Clemson now on a 7-0 run. Walton inside the arc. He's been short on just about every shot.
He's going to come back in the game.
In the meantime, Quinterly's getting a breather with Jalen Young in the game for Memphis. Walton, can he knock down a three? Nope. Remains cold. Jones the rebound.
Now into Peavy, and he misses for two. That's pretty rare. Second chance for TCU. Out it goes for Coles. He missed it.
Ending of the transfer portal. The starting five tells you that. Clark, who came in from the Citadel, connecting from downtown.
Now, when we're talking about their three-point shooters, we want
Cooper that time. Dan, does it feel like to you these two teams have kind of settled in a little bit of a rhythm, at least defensively now? Mack draws a double team. Cooper off the fake, outside to Clark. Johnson with a step. The ball movement, Stute wide open for three.
And that.
Murray Boyles for three. Shefflin the rebound. Hall forced to stay on the court. Gamecocks get it back. B.J. Mack is wide open. Shefflin the rebound. That
the right wing. And look at Godfrey. And we see the Broncos bring a double on P.J. Hall for the first time today. Martin, 6'9", likes to shoot.
State's size is actually just slightly bigger than Clemson's, which tells you something about the Mountain West.
Martin hit a three in the first half. Misses everything that time. This is honest. You're going to keep defenses honest because they've got to make sure they've got someone to help on him. Martin trying to build on a real good scoring game for him. Hunter another rebound.
Ochera, 5 to shoot.
Hemingway lost his footing, and the pass goes for a three-point attempt, and Hunter and the second half. Hemingway and Girard.
It's incredible how open he was, too. I mean, how are you going to be that far off of him? Pull that. Smart decision. Good job feeding P.J. Hall, and he is really good at that fadeaway from the mid-post.
6 to shoot. Huffman, Kuchera. Somebody's got to put it up. It's going to have to be a long three from Scobie. It's a similar story against Winthrop the other night when he went 1 for 4 from beyond the arc.
Off the mark from execution against the 2-3 zone. You get it to that dunker spot, little out from that, and Hall fills the lane.
You're looking for someone to open up here with 5 on the shot clock. He's going to have to drive it. Got it inside, and a clean block that time by Hall.
And great being back into the game, which will make it even more difficult.
Oh, that's a very pretty pass. Harris's give leads to a 5.
Had a few explosive nights, versatile guy, excellent passer. Mintz off the curl. What a look from Mintz inside. I think he surprised Malik Brown. And Brad Brownell, whose team has threatened to pull away numerous times, just haven't been able to do it. And P.J. Hall gets beat to the basket by Brown and has to.
On average for the Tigers, over 19 points per game for the senior from Spartanburg. Corin. Wiggins and Hall. Hunter had it poked away. Inside Spears, gave it up for Worley. Right into P.J. Hall.
Louisville working on Hunter. Reeves will drive. Leave it for Ndongo. Missed everything. Girard the rebound. Tigers want to run. Shot clock winding down and knocked away Hunter on a heck of a play.
Chase Hunter.
And now the feed back. Gapari's dunk is blocked. And
did a lot of things. They don't look just at the net. I think it's used too much by the prognosticators, but I think they look at road wins.
Still hard to stop. 4 made threes in the game for Joe Girard. Middlebrooks, the cutter. Acrobatic shot. He got bumped in midair.
Was terrific in the first half. Let's see if the Tar Heels can get him started here in the second. Davis finds him. Thank you very much.
Beekman getting a breather right now. Rhodey and Harris are the Virginia guards, along with Murray. Harris feeds Minor. He got contested by Hall and finished through the contact. 6 to play. Girard with 4 threes on 5 attempts. Minor banging with Hall, and he gives Virginia the lead right back. And there's that. 7 to shoot. Here's Beekman. He's been the man all season. Feeds Minor. Dunn is there for the tip.
Got to give it up, get it back. Green. And if it's on Hall, it's his second.
Got the midweek bye, and then you get Duke next weekend. What do you do to fix those things? Are those things fixable, or is your personnel your personnel?
Well, the mental errors are sometimes like.
Lost his footing.
That's how quick he is.
Great pass. Rejected, but a foul called. Knocked away, P.J. Hall. George puts it up. The slam. Tyson Claude.
Different side of the floor.
Dongo, the spin. Tees up Claude. Missed it. A foul called. So George left it off for Claude. Couldn't handle it.
Ingram for Baycott. Exactly where he wants it.
Great job by Baycott. Reload.
And they've got size on that back line. Shefflin on one side, Wiggins on the other, Hall in the middle. Omier traveled. And the defense has given a little shoulder bump that they play on. Omier got rid of it, and Cleveland got fouled.
And that's it. Staff. 5 on the shot clock. Turner, a big, who's known for his outside shot, tried to feed it to Smith. Tigers forcing another turnover.
You're seeing
the on Radford
ranking right now.
Shefflin and the Tigers back to a double-figure advantage, up by 11. Smith, Harris, out of bounds.
Started the season, the transfer from Wichita State, on a torrid beginning and has been cold ever since. Bad pass by Mills, and Memphis turns it right back over to Clemson. Malco. Mills triple team, lost it. Goes right to Quinterly. Great feed and a dunk by Jaquan Walton. Maybe that'll get Walton going.
There's how you get off the...
10 on the shot clock now for Memphis. Quinterly working against Dylan Hunter. Great feed. And the bucket by David Jones on a great contact.
Court blocked by Hall. Oh, down on the ground. They both
Trigger on that one.
Well, you just watched Johnson hit one from that distance moments ago. Stute, Clark, and a chance for three.
And that's exactly...
Shot clock under 10. Cooper against Beadle. No look dish to Clark. Lays it up and in.
And again, mind Shefflin has 4 fouls.
Johnson hit another gear, and the pass picked off by Hall.
Well, one thing you notice is you can tell Coach Capel was concerned about the physicality of the defense. Not so much there.
25-4. Feed inside, good look from Nelson. And Wagee had it knocked away. Good look.
The feisty group used to winning.
There he is, Benet.
Face off to just a 1-for-7 start from the field. 1 of 4 3-point shooting, and Hall comes away with a steal.
Get back to feeding those guys down low, and they got to do a better job of getting position so their guards will have the opportunity to get it to them.
Marsh inside for the dunk.
Big fella.
Oh, my goodness.
Look that they wanted, just have to finish.
Almost 2 minutes gone, second half. Salas fights through. Lob and the slam from Marsh.
And what a look from Salas.
Almost half of their shots coming from three, which is not typically the way Clemson operates. The way Syracuse has operated has been in large part because of the great play of 9 of 12 from the floor. The high handoff, and finishing is Malik Brown.
Yeah, beautiful little screen in this.
You must go down low to 24.
Trying to work it inside to Davis. Couldn't calculate that angle. Fighting with Hall. 85 made threes on the season for Girard. That's tied for third in the conference. At the other end, it's Zona. Might have lost it on the way up, and Hall. 17 points for Burton to lead the way. Jai. Right into Hall. Offense. 5 overtime game and a win against Louisville. 104-101. One of the amazing contests in this facility. Davis on the drive.
ATM. He did. I thought that Shefflin should have gone up with the initial. I think that the pause is what put him in bad position. Nice pass over the corn. And you see Primo Spears
able to finish.
Dump down low. Brown finally beats Hall.
And they're trying to post up Shefflin. Shefflin just lost the post entry pass that time.
Brown going right into Shefflin. He misses it.
Put Girard in. It was a good pass, but Girard, he's going into Forrest there.
Down low, here's Hall. Huntley Hatfield had it rattle out.
Nathan George has had the hot hand for the Yellow Jackets. Leads them with 8. Passing here. Dongo didn't have the touch. It almost...
Dongo.
Sturdivant. Back-to-back big-time makes.
And the Hokie faithful rises to its feet. Inside, Poteet punishes for the punctuation.
Back to the scores table.
There he is, magically appearing. Ryan with a nice feed. Washington took the bump and got it to go. Good body control there.
But checked in for Miami. 6'7" sophomore from Lanham, Maryland. Boy, terrific handle and a great feed, but then an even better defense. Guarded by Wiggins. And pack off the stagger. George up top. And Casey couldn't slam it home. Everything was...
Tigers continue to move the ball very well. Great rotation right there defensively by Ian Schieffelin.
Hall just made a bucket. Now he forces the turnover.
On Quinterly, David Jones. I mentioned Ashton Hardaway along with Nicholas Jourdain and Malcolm Dandridge. Dandridge blocked from behind by Hall. One of the top shot block. 5-0 lead for the visitors from Clemson. Quinterly, great swing pass to Dandridge for the dunk.
That's 2 plays they've gotten Dandridge. The first
They can't have turnovers leading into points.
Clemson coming off that huge win at Alabama on Tuesday. It was just their second. Carrington pierces the lane, lobs it. Federico on the second effort puts it.
So much about Lil Bub Carrington and what he means, but Jalen Lowe here has a tremendous amount of pressure and responsibility to settle his team down. And
the fact that you throw the ball down low to establish the inside-out game for Clemson.
It's an Alabama team that has really been scoring, and one scoop to the hoop.
For the Tigers.
Under 9 to go here, first half. And a nice move to the bucket for Wagi, but in the block. How about Mark Sears, by the way, leading scorer in the SEC, averaging 20 a game. He has not scored. And Wagi knocked down to the floor. Second half, you've been calling for it.
What a dagger.
And the lob is Pringle.
Throws the starting 5 for the Braves. Alley-oop flush. Nice look, nice find, tie game.
Well, Alcorn State is definitely game ready. It's B now with Javian Davis on the bench 5 minutes into the game.
Oh, it's huge because, you know, he's kind of a port in a storm, a guy that you can kind of post up. Simpson as a point guard, he's had to adjust into that position. Pass. Yeah.
What's a